And welcome inside of Hawk Nation as we prepare for the home opener for the South Harrison Hawks as they play host to Parkersburg Catholic, looking for their first win of the season are the Hawks. Good evening, I'm Tom Sears. Alongside me, as always, Danny Knight. Danny, South Harrison has scored 6 points in their last 2 games. Let me say that 12 combined, 6 each. Offense has struggled a great deal. We've seen improvement on the defensive end. What do the Hawks got to do tonight to get one?
I guess that's the simple, quick answer to it, but they have struggled not to start they wanted offensively this season. Just haven't really been able to get anything going, not a lot of momentum. Really haven't found an identity. Hopefully tonight they'll do that. It is opening night at home. You know, we're already in the 3rd week of the season, but just the first week here at Gary Barnett Field. I'm sure they're excited to be here, and I do expect to see them to take a step forward tonight offensively.
A warm evening here. It's nice to be at home. On the road the last couple of weeks, and the Hawk has been painted at midfield. And, you know, Chris Underwood looking for his 2nd win of his career.
That's very true. I'm sure he was hopeful that would have come a long time ago. It hasn't materialized that way. I think more than anything, though, he's just focused on trying to get this young team, it still is a young team, on the right path. I mean, he's trying to get the program back where it used to be. It takes time. And so I think tonight he's just hoping to see some positive things and hopefully get more points on the board and get a W.
Absolutely, and that's really what it's about. We talked about it. More points on the board would be a very, very good thing. But let's be honest, Danny. Let's be really honest. They've opened up with probably what could be their best 2 opponents on their schedule. Last week, Liberty. First week, Doddridge County. And that's a good Doddridge County football team. And I thought there were opportunities last week against Liberty, but we were not able to capitalize.
It was a more competitive game than I anticipated it would be. But you are right. The first 2 games have been brutal. I mean, it probably is the 2 toughest teams on their schedule, or certainly in the conversation for that. So I feel like for me, I haven't pushed the panic button. I understood what was coming. We understood. We talked about it. What we were looking at in the first 2 weeks. So I think now this week, it's time to see some, more success, more points on the board, and hopefully get a W so that we can really get some things happening towards the second part of the season.
Well, there's a lot of things happening on the campus of South Harrison High School. Soccer is in full swing. Volleyball is in full swing. Golf is in full swing. No pun intended. Right?
Yes. Sometimes I'd rather them take a half swing.
I get it. I understand. Parkersburg Catholic here tonight. Last year, it was a pretty competitive game in the first half. We've seen Jaron Robinson, our starting quarterback, come down with an illness at halftime that kept him out of the game, and things went south in the second half. But something you've pointed out last week, we talked about it, was that this is a Hawk offense that in many ways seems to be one-dimensional. Even with Robinson back out there, it seems that teams are keying in big time on number 14, Landon McFadden.
There's no question that they are, and for good reason. I mean, he is definitely the go-to player for the Hawks, but I think if this offense wants to start producing more, it's going to have to rely more on the feet of Robinson and his arm. I think Robinson needs to step up, and that's not – I don't know that they've given him an opportunity to. I think last week I saw some flashes. Hopefully the coaching staff saw the same things, and they give him more of an opportunity to run it and throw it. If they add those elements to this offense, it could be much better.
You take a look down there. Robinson is down there warming up, but he has a wrap on his wrist. I talked to him earlier this week, and he told me that he had sprained his wrist in last week's game, and I remember seeing something happening in the game, an injury or whatever, but that's what it was. And so it is on his right hand, which would be his throwing hand.
And just watching him warm up, I haven't really seen the passes, affected by that. He looks to be throwing the ball well. It's been accurate. There's been a good spiral on it. So hopefully it doesn't affect him. And, again, I do think this offense needs to be a little bit more versatile. It'll be interesting to see if they try to add any new wrinkles or do anything different here tonight starting out. We'll just have to see.
Tom definitely does tell that story. It's a big, not big in number, but some size out there for Parkersburg Catholic. I mean, you take a look down there, they're warming up down there near the end zone, and there's some kids got some size. I mean, they're big kids down there.
Yeah, if you take a look at their roster, I know there was one, 6'6", 335.
Right.
Number 73, Wade Smitley, and I believe they have another as well that's got some really good size. Really a couple. I mean, we got another kid at 6'4", 260, and a freshman that's 6'2", 268. So definitely have some beef up front on the line. The Hawks will have to be ready for that. It's something that they faced already in the first 2 weeks, being undersized. We talked about that a lot last year. We'll see if that makes an impact early in this game.
Well, let's talk about something that you probably don't want to start talking about in week 3, but nonetheless, here we are. Is this a must-win game for the Hawks?
I mean, if you're thinking about playoffs, yes. I mean, I don't know that the word playoffs should be in the vocabulary, but for the Hawks at this time. But then again, it's in everybody's mindset until you get to that point where you can't say it anymore. But yeah, if they want that to even remain in the conversation, yes, I think they have to win tonight.
Competition all around the campus of South Harrison High School. Of course, tonight's game kicks off at 7:30, but there's an interesting contest Danny and I are partaking in, and we will talk about it when we return. Don't go anywhere. This is Hawk Nation. Mountain State Land Surveying, providing boundary surveys for residential, farm, and commercial properties, along with FEMA elevation certificates and construction layout services. Mountain State Land Surveying, call 304-476-8668 for all of your surveying needs. Again, that's Mountain State Land Surveying, 304-476-8668, a proud supporter of South Harrison High School. Richards Heating and Air Conditioning for all your heating and cooling needs. Installation and service. Phone 304-884-6400. Located in Jane Lew and serving the South Harrison area. Call Richards Heating and Air Conditioning at 304-884-6400. Visit their webpage at richardsheating.com or find them on Facebook under Richards Heating and Air Conditioning. We are live here at Gary Barnett Field, about 27 minutes away from kickoff, as the Hawks will play their third regular season game and their first home game of the season. Well, Danny, as I mentioned it before we went to break, you and I we're taking part, let me see if I can get that out, in a competition unlike any other.
It's a competition that really brings out our talents and abilities. I'll say that. I mean, I feel like in this area I'm gifted, and if I must say so, I think you are as well.
Absolutely.
We're gifted at this.
We are very gifted at this, and although it's not a competition between the two of us.
It's not. I'm sure people are disappointed. We should probably come up with something like that on a side note, but
I agree. But with that being said, let me ask you this. What happens? Should I lay it out first before I start asking questions?
Probably.
That
way people understand what we're talking about.
I get that's usually helpful. Okay, let's do it this way. Let's unpackage it. Well, we were approached by assistant coach Jim Dawson, and sort of a tradition here at South Harrison High School has been to there's always food before the game for the football coaches and officials and whoever that is a part of the game activity, so to speak. And I guess they decided this year they were going to, on each home game, one of the coaches would fix something. So Coach Dawson, he pitched this idea. He said, you know what? He said, you and Danny should taste whatever the coach makes and then talk about it on the air and have a competition throughout the home games of the season, and at the end, pick a winner.
Love it.
Yeah. So we were like, sounds like a great plan.
We're in. If it involves food and eating,
we're in.
it brings out the best in us.
Yes. So, today or tonight's game, how can I say this? The cooking coach. There we go.
There you go.
See? Yeah. The cooking coach happened to be assistant football coach Frank Tate and prepared lasagna. You and I had an opportunity to stop in and get a little taste of the lasagna.
I think we did a little more than taste. But, yes, we did. So, obviously, I think we got to kind of just give our opinions and critique it a little bit, and then we just have to keep it in our minds as we go forward, and we'll pick a winner at the end. You know, seeing that it's Italian food, considering my heritage as an Italian, I thought this is either going to be an advantage or a disadvantage. Either because I really like Italian food, it could be an advantage, but also I'm used to really good Italian food. So if it's not good, I'm going to know it. But I thought it was good. I thought it was good. I would have liked to have seen some crushed red pepper to put on it. You know, these are some of the things. Now, it's probably an advantage for the other coaches if they listen to this because he didn't know some of the things that.
Well, I don't know that they're going to make lasagna, right?
Well, right. But, I mean, you know, in other words, we're looking for not just the food itself, but, I mean, you know, like I say, some crushed red pepper would have been good. I think there were some things you had thought of that would have been nice as well.
Yes, I agree. So we'll cover that. But let me say this first. It's hard to compare it when there's nothing to compare it to.
Very true.
So
it could be the best, and we don't know that.
Right. So
it could be the worst.
Well, what we do know is week 3, Coach Tate's in the lead.
He is.
Right?
He is in first place.
He's in first place. I'm not certain, and I wish I knew. We'll try to do a better job of this. I wish I knew who was next.
That would be nice.
Because, like with Coach Dawson, you almost expect some wild game, something that involves deer meat or whatever. You almost have that expectation. Not necessarily the case, but
Coach Tate, it was good. Like, honestly,
yes,
it was good.
I
liked it. I had, you know, a second helping of it.
Mm-hmm.
So, I mean, it was definitely good. So the bar has been set.
Yes.
It's not like it was bad. And now, you know, it was like if everybody, let's say his is the worst, then we're in really good shape.
Yes.
Because it was good. Now, the coach that makes me nervous, and I don't know if he's involved, is Coach Hayhurst. Is he cooking? Because if he is, I don't know that I want to do that.
No, wait a minute now. In Coach Hayhurst's defense, I have ate his food before.
His, or did his mom make it?
No, his.
Because his mom can cook, and that would be unfair to everybody else.
No.
Well, I've not had his cooking. I just know him. I just know him.
Well, no.
Richard's Heating and Air Conditioning.
Didn't mean to do that. Okay. I went to a commercial. So, yes, I get it. But he actually cooks really well.
Okay.
Like his baked goods and different things that he does, like with cookies and stuff.
Really?
He definitely took a lesson out of his mother's playbook. There's no doubt about it. It's good.
Okay.
So I'm not nervous. I am not at all nervous about that. But let's back up 1 second, and let's talk about what we experienced tonight. When we walked into the room, what we found was a couple pans of lasagna.
Yes.
One had been almost completely and totally devoured. There was a corner piece left.
Yes.
And we dove into it.
Yes.
And it seemed to have meat in it. And I say that it seemed to have meat. Well, it did have meat in it.
Yes.
It didn't seem to have meat in it. There was meat there.
There was.
But the second pan, I didn't see any meat.
Yes. The first pan was better than the second. I thought. Did you agree?
No.
No, really?
And that's the weird thing.
Okay.
Is that the weird thing is like with my lasagna or anything Italian, I want meat.
Well, then, but I thought you said you liked the first.
No, I said that the first pan had meat.
I know, but you liked it better or not?
No, I do not. I did not like. They were both very good, but I'm saying I liked the taste of the second pan better. And I don't know what – it looked like it had maybe more cheese.
It did have more cheese. But what the criticism I'd have of the cheese is – this is so terrible. They're giving us food more credit. I thought it could have been a little bit more melty.
Yeah, it wasn't melted.
But now, granted, it sat there for a little – and it's not like we got to get it fresh right out of the out of the oven. So, I mean, I'm
Right.
sure that may have changed it. Still good.
Very good.
I like the first pan better, without a doubt.
Very good. Okay. So I don't know if that was on purpose. I don't know what that situation was, but I think we could agree that it was good. It was very good.
Very good.
I would call it very good.
Yes.
Okay. Now, to the critique.
Okay.
Not that we haven't critiqued the lasagna already,
Yes.
which at the end of the day was very good. I think the next coach has their hands full. Would you agree?
I do agree, yes.
Okay. Boy, we're passionate about this.
I
aren't we?
know. Well, I told you we're gifted and talented at eating. I mean, it's,
Okay. All right. So then you have what would be considered the side dishes. Or
Yes.
There's where the disappointment was for me.
Okay.
Because when we got in there, and it was probably the timing of
Yes.
us getting in there, because we came over much later after everyone had eaten. And there's literally just pieces of lettuce left in a bowl where there apparently had been a salad. On the upside, there was forethought put into – I can't believe we're having this conversation.
Yes.
This is good. This is good. The croutons, right, and Olive Garden dressing.
Yes.
So, unfortunately, all we could do was talk about how good it could have been.
Yes. A for effort there, but we don't know what it tasted
Yeah.
like. So maybe have a little bit more or set aside stuff for us because we're that important.
We are that important, and something to drink would have been
Right.
an
I
upside
always
as well.
like something to drink
Yes.
when I eat. Yes.
Yes, usually.
Yes.
So-
I can eat more if I have something to drink.
But let's be honest, side dishes and drinks aren't going to win this competition.
No, it's still going to come down to what that main course is and how well it's done. Overall, Coach Tate did a good job. We don't have anything to compare it to. That does make it hard. We're probably being maybe a little harder on him
because
than we
there's
would
no,
be because it could have been like
Yeah.
Zach might have brought like nachos and cheese or something and then this would be awesome comparatively. So,
Poor Zach.
he bring like, huh?
I said poor Zach. Coach Ahurst.
I know. Well, Coach, yeah, right. Sorry, Coach Ahurst. I mean, I feel a little bit better because you said that, but not a ton. He'll be bringing like
Listen, there was
Chips Ahoy or something.
there was a moment last year. I don't know if you remember this. We had finished practicing, and he had made some things for the girls' basketball team that he was coaching, and because they stayed, they're going on the road trip, and he made some food on, and then he left some things on my desk in the coach's office. It was, I think, potato soup, if I can recall, and some fine cookies and various sweet treats. It was pretty good.
Sweet treats.
Sweet treats, yeah. And I'm not a big sweet eater. I'm a steak and potato kind of guy.
Yeah.
Yeah, well, I like lasagna too.
Right, I do too. I like it all. I don't think I got any of that. I think you devoured it and I didn't have a chance.
No. Don't make it sound that way. He left. He left a really nice note. Now that I recall, and we'll leave it there.
Yeah, I'm starting to get uncomfortable, but for multiple reasons. I mean, one of which is I wasn't involved, but I feel a little left out.
I apologize.
I didn't get any notes. I didn't get any sweet treats.
Listen, I would be more than happy to write you a note.
Yeah, I don't know that I like the sound of that either. Well, thanks to Coach
Absolutely.
Tate for
Yes.
sure. We appreciate him taking the time to do that. Thanks, Coach Dawson, for having the idea. We think it's wonderful.
Yes.
I always am ready to eat, and it was very good. We're going to have a lot of fun with this. If you're out there listening and you want to bring us food and snacks, feel free to do that.
Sounds great.
We're in the press box, whatever game
Yep.
it is.
Yep.
We're up in the press box.
That's actually a good thought. I mean, like, people out there could take a part in this, right? I mean, like, you're listening to this podcast right now. Hey, we'll taste your food too.
I would gladly say, hey, so-and-so brought us some really good, sweet treats tonight. I don't know. I'm going to say sweet treats all night.
Yes.
That's the word of the night, sweet treat.
It's pretty legit. All right, we're going to take a break. You're listening to Hawk Nation. Both teams on the field warming up. Ladies and gentlemen, if you thought you tuned in to the Cooking Network, does that exist?
Food Network.
Oh, that's what it is. You can tell how much I watch it. the Food Network. You are incorrect. This is Hawk Nation. We'll be back. Mountain State Land Surveying, providing boundary surveys for residential, farm, and commercial properties, along with FEMA elevation certificates and construction layout services. Mountain State Land Surveying, call 304-476-8668 for all of your surveying needs. Again, that's Mountain State Land Surveying, 304-476-8668, a proud supporter of South Harrison High School.
Richards Heating and Air Conditioning for all your heating and cooling needs. Installation and service. Phone 304-884-6400. Located in Jane Lew and serving the South Harrison area. Call Richards Heating and Air Conditioning at 304-884-6400. Visit their webpage at richardsheating.com or find them on Facebook under Richards Heating and Air Conditioning.
Back inside Hawk Nation, it's episode 3 on the year, which means game number 3 for the Hawks. It is the home opener here at Gary Barnett Field. And speaking of Gary Barnett Field, Danny, looks pretty nice out there.
Very nice. Got the big Hawk right out there on the field at midfield. Grass, green, in great shape. I remember when this was a parking lot. I make reference to it all the time, but this field is in great condition. You got to love the big Hawk out there. I tell you, it's hot outside, though. Like, I'm sweating up here. We're talking. It is a nice night, but I'm warm and it's sweating, and I am sweating.
Wait. It's warm and it's sweating. How does that work?
It's sweaty. I don't know. This came out wrong, but I am sweating. It's sweaty weather.
Yes. Well, let's talk about something else before the Hawks kick off tonight. We'll have a great deal of time to talk about them. The West Virginia Mountaineers.
Yeah.
Pretty bad, right? I mean, let me make a statement, and you tell me if you agree with it.
Okay.
Okay. I think it's one of the worst Mountaineer teams that I have seen in many, many years.
I agree.
Like, I don't know that I remember watching a team this bad.
You could definitely tell the talent level's down. I mean, I kind of expected it. I think Coach.
Did you expect it to be this bad?
Not this bad, no.
Yeah.
Not this bad. I thought they would lose last week. I predicted it, but I didn't predict it to be that bad. I didn't expect it. I thought it would be more competitive. I will say this. I do think Missouri is a good football team. I think they're going to win a lot of games. Kelly Bryant's a really good quarterback. You know, let's see what happens tomorrow. Not that I think they're going to win, because I don't.
Let's pause for a minute, Danny. They're doing a special 9/11 tribute here, and we're going to pause for it. I believe the VFW presenting a flag. Okay, so back to what we
Nice.
yeah, very nice. You know, I know in my classroom this past week on 9/11 we talked about the events of that day, and I know you probably feel the same way. You'll never forget where you were and how you felt. And,
Right.
I mean, I just really hope that we truly never forget.
I can't see how anybody could. I think it's just crazy how long ago it was at this point. There's when you stop and think about it and reflect, think back to it, like the feelings aren't that far away. Does that make sense?
Yeah, absolutely.
I can pull those feelings back up pretty easily, and it's been 18 years now, and so that's just crazy. I just remember, the uncertainty, some of the things I felt, just the uncertainty of what was going to happen as our world changed forever, which, I think it has been, but, to what degree?
Right.
And so sitting here 18 years later, knowing it's just a very I'm glad that I don't think anyone will forget. We won't. And I appreciate the tribute, and I think everyone does, yes.
Absolutely. Well, we were talking about WVU football and, just how bad it was. I'm going to –
That struck me as funny. West Virginia football and just how bad it was.
Well, it was.
Or is. No, it was. No, I don't disagree.
I'm hoping that it can be better, but okay, so let me ask you another question, because there's two schools of thought on this. I got to thinking about this last Saturday watching the game, that I feel like Holgorsen, what we see is because of his recruiting or lack thereof. Think about it. He never recruited a quarterback from high school and developed that quarterback in his time at WVU.
Biggest disappointment of his tenure for me was that he didn't, and I thought that would be the one thing we'd always have. I do think the talent level is very low. It's lower than when he came here. He left the cupboard bare.
I agree.
He inherited a very good football team. He did not leave a very good football team behind. I think he knew when to leave. It was going to be a rough season this year, and he knew it.
Yeah, and he's not going to get a contract extension, and he's done. Think about how underwhelming last season was.
I think he saw the handwriting on the wall. Let's be honest. And I'm biased, but the Houston job is not a step up. It's a lower conference. So some may say, well, why? No, he's going kind of back home or whatever. But so I get that. But the reality is he got out while he could, because he wouldn't have been as valuable after this season had he coached, because they were going to be bad. I actually feel like there's probably a little more hope for this team because Neil Brown is the head coach. And I was pretty supportive of Coach Holgorsen. Let me say that. I'm not jumping on the bandwagon
I think for me, I also felt that I was supportive. There were moments, obviously, but for the most part, I was supportive of Coach Holgorsen. But that changed for me last Saturday. Not that it matters now that he's gone, and I guess it's easy to say, but, the product on the field is a result, in my opinion, and some people disagree, but it's the level of talent it's just not very good.
No, it's not, and we'll see what they can do. I feel the things I do like are things that I've seen from the coaching staff and the way he's handling things. I think his demeanor. So I'm not liking the results, but I am liking Coach Brown. We're just going to have to endure this season and give him some time to get things turned around, and I think he will. I am interested to see tomorrow the improvement, if there is any, and what they can do against NC State.
Well, they need to improve, that's for sure. And speaking of NC State, former defensive coordinator Tony Gibson making his way back to Morgantown. Boy, that's got to be rough. He loves West Virginia.
Absolutely he does.
He's a West Virginia guy. He lobbied for the job.
Yes, it was his dream job is WVU, so I'm sure he was very disappointed and hated to leave. He did. He's at NC State, so it's probably bittersweet, but I tell you what he's going to want to do is get a win.
Absolutely.
I tell you that. He's going to want to shut that offense down. And unless they do something different, it's not going to be that difficult to do because they've not looked good.
So, what do you think of Holgorsen's performance thus far at Houston?
I mean, not a whole lot. I mean, I think he kind of came in running his mouth about Oklahoma, and they got beat pretty good in that game.
Do you think he acts a little different there? Like he's I question if he was ever a good fit for West Virginia, both for West Virginians and for Coach Holgorsen.
I think that's a very valid point. He may not have been, probably not. I mean, when you sit down, and I liked the hire and I wanted him and I was supportive of him. I think now when you sit back, you look at the entire body of work, you see how he left, you see what he left, you see his demeanor as he goes someplace else, and you do kind of think it's just not a right match. And I think what it seems like so far, and I could be wrong, I think Neal Brown is a good match. I think he does fit into the West Virginia culture, and so that will be interesting to see how that plays out.
So, do you agree it's going to be a bumpy ride
this season? Oh yeah,
maybe a couple seasons.
Probably a couple seasons. I mean, I think they're going to win like 2 or 3 games
this year.
I think they maybe get 3. I want to say they go 3-9. They'll beat maybe like Kansas, and then they'll upset somebody else. Maybe later in the season. I look for them to go. I really look for them to go 3-12. And then you come back next season. We don't know what his recruiting is going to be, what the quarterback situation is going to, how that's going to develop. But then next year you're hoping to win 6 or 7. I mean, that's the reality of it. And then in year 3, you really can't. I don't think it's fair to have any big expectations till year 3.
Well, I think one final question on this topic: will West Virginia fans endure the process? I think Coach Brown calls it the climb, which a lot of people are taking offense to. The 14th winningest program in America. Why do we have to climb?
Well, because we are.
No, I'm not.
I'm just answering the question because the talent level's really low. I mean, that's where we're at. Yeah, I mean, he's not meaning it in a derogatory way at all because he came here. He wants to be here. I mean, I think he's excited to have the job. I really do. But it is going to be a climb. He's right. And he needs to approach it that way because that's what the reality is. So hopefully he can accomplish that. Will the West Virginia fans give him time? No, probably not. I mean, most people won't. But most people are ignorant. I mean, that's the bottom line.
Don't hold back.
People criticize stuff; they have no idea what they're talking about, and so that's going to happen. I'm sure I know people are already saying stuff. You have no idea. I mean, so
I guess they need a.
Should I do it?
You should not.
Okay, then we'd have to have someone to step up here and just start the whole chain of events.
Yeah, I'm not a fan of that.
They're
idea.
wanting someone to come and do the chain. I don't know that everybody heard that. They need a volunteer for the chain gang.
Why are you shouting on the podcast?
Huh?
Why are you shouting that on the podcast?
I don't know. Because they need to know what's happening here.
All right. I don't know.
All things South Harrison.
Play-by-play. Well, the Hawks are making their way onto the football field. We're going to take our final break before kickoff. Stay tuned. This is Hawk Nation.
Richards Heating and Air Conditioning for all your heating and cooling needs. Installation and service. Phone 304-884-6400. Located in Jane Lew and serving the South Harrison area. Call Richards Heating and Air Conditioning at 304-884-6400. Visit their webpage at richardsheating.com or find them on Facebook under Richards Heating and Air Conditioning.
Mountain State Land Surveying, providing boundary surveys for residential, farm, and commercial properties, along with FEMA elevation certificates and construction layout services. Mountain State Land Surveying, call 304-476-8668 for all of your surveying needs. Again, that's Mountain State Land Surveying, 304-476-8668, a proud supporter of South Harrison High School. And we're moments away from a kickoff here. The South Harrison Hawk football team has made their way to the field. Captains are lining up We're moments away from a kickoff here. The Hawks again looking for their first win of the season. Seeing some discrepancies here with the roster. See if I can get that corrected. 51. Anyway, representing Parkersburg Catholic as captains, and there's number 44 out there, but I don't have his name, is number 10, Jeb Boyce. Number 51, Joel Stoffel. And number 73, Wade Smitley. For the Hawks, number 75, Trey Waller. Number 14, Landon McFadden. Number 10, Jaron Robinson. And number 64, Jonathan Smith. What is it? Gotcha. Thank you. So it looks like number 54 is 44, which is Jalen Bruni out there representing them as well. We hope that information is accurate and correct, or we'll be calling it wrong the entire evening. Won't be the first time or the last.
I missed it.
I was just talking about how honored I am that you're here with me. And just
No, that I know is not true. So.
Well, sure, it's true.
Well, not that you said it.
But I do have a question. Who won the coin toss? We're dropping the ball.
You know,
here.
I wasn't listening to you. I wasn't listening to you. I couldn't hear. And then I was distracted and I didn't see the coin toss. So yes, I'm failing miserably.
Well,
but the food was good.
It was good
before the game.
Yes, it was. We're pumped up and ready to go. Looks like to me, South Harrison is going to receive the football. Number 44, Jalen Bruni, is lining up. He's a big one. 6'2", 210. I think they've got good size. They bring back, I think I read, 12 returning players from last year's team.
Yeah, and they were a good team last season. It was a good game that kind of got away from us. But, yeah, I mean, it's another challenge tonight for this Hawk football team. Let's hope they can step up tonight and meet that challenge and get a win.
Back for the Hawks to receive number 14, the senior Landon McFadden, the sophomore, number 32, Jacob Haddix. Bruni lines up. Approaches. The kick is up and away. It's a low kick. Takes a hop right around the 32. Rolls back into the hands of McFadden. He's up over the 25. Trying to get to the outside. Trying to find some room. Not much. Over the 30 to 35. He's got some more room. Got a couple blocks. Then he's going to be knocked out of bounds right around midfield by number 44, Jalen Bruni, the same individual that kicked it off.
It's always exciting when McFadden gets the ball in his hands. I'm sure they were trying to keep it away from him. He was able to get it, and once he got to the corner, he shot right up the sidelines for a very nice return into Parkersburg Catholic territory. So this offense that's still struggling to find an identity starts off with really good field position here tonight.
Well, and if you think about it, from my perspective, it looked like he really didn't have a whole lot of room. And the Hawks lining up in the wing T. Old Brad Jett offense. In motion is Jacob Haddix, and Coach Underwood calls a timeout.
Not the start they're looking for after great field position, but you really don't want to call a timeout on the opening play of the game offensively. You know, and you can see the coaches are very frustrated, kind of looking at each other. It's a personnel issue. Not all the right players were on the field for whatever reason. So, but yeah, was it a formation that we haven't seen in a minute, and but it is a familiar one with the wing T. So that's an interesting development.
How difficult is it, Danny, to be I formation, shotgun, and then this week be in a wing T situation?
It's difficult. It's a challenge for a football team to be, especially a young football team, high school football team, to be changing formations a bunch and changing personnel groupings and things like that.
The coach never really got with them there during the timeout, and I would assume it was a personnel thing. You would have to assume that Parkersburg Catholic now not going to be caught off guard by this.
No.
Back in the same formation, it's a wing T. Hogsett is the fullback. McFadden goes in motion, gets the toss, runs straight ahead, down inside the 45 to about the 43. Positive yardage, a gain of, looks like about 5 yards, brings up 2nd down and 5.
It is toss sweep to McFadden as he came in motion. It's a familiar play we've seen. He's able to cut upfield and get a nice gain. So it's a nice first play of the game. We'll see if they continue to stay in that formation, and it looks like they are. So definitely a different wrinkle here from what we've seen in the first 2 games.
Haddix in motion now. Toss to Haddix. Tries to get to the outside. He's hit in the backfield and brought down. So short-lived success with this new formation. And, Danny, I would ask, what are the benefits of running this formation? Is it a better blocking scheme?
Well, I mean, I guess that's a matter of opinion and preference. I would say it's not, but, within out of the eye, you've got more lead blockers. I mean, I do think they are trying to get a couple guys out in front.
Is it to try to get to the outside?
A little bit. I think it's more probably about some misdirection and trying to confuse the linebackers a little bit.
3rd down and 8. This time out of the pistol. McFadden breaks loose. He has a 1st down. Down inside Parkersburg Catholic territory, down to about the 29-yard line. So they go to a more of a pistol look.
Right.
And positive yardage.
I think the reality is that if the ball's in McFadden's hand, he makes any formation look good, and it works. It really comes down to this. It comes down to the offensive line blocking and everyone executing. I do think it's a challenge for the team when you're changing stuff around like that a lot. What you really want to do is, this goes back to identity. Pick whatever formation, it really doesn't matter, and execute it. Work on it, run it, execute it, block it, and you can see good things happen.
McFadden runs off the field. Haddix is the tailback, and at fullback for the Hawks, number 25, Caden Ryan. Handoff this time. No, Robinson keeps it. He's brought down behind the line of scrimmage.
I mean, it definitely seems like, they're not. I mean, if you're not here, you can't see this. I feel like I can see it very plain. Some hesitation from the players.
Unsure.
Not quite 100% confident they're in the right place or what's happening. And maybe I'm reading into it wrong, but that's what I see.
2nd down and 12. Handoff to McFadden. He's wrapped up pretty quickly by number 51, Joel Stoffel, the 6'4", 260-pound senior. But McFadden able to gain about 4 yards, going to bring up 3rd down and 8.
Again, I mean, it's just the same thing. I mean, when McFadden has touched it, they've had success. Outside of that, they've not been able to find it. That's not a slight on any other players. They are looking for someone else to be able to step up and make plays.
Handoff to McFadden again. Tries to get to the outside, takes a hit, stays on his feet, and then he's going to be brought down. Maybe a gain of 3, but it'll bring up 4th down and about 5.
Yeah, I mean they're going to go for it. It's just in that part of the field where you would I don't think they have the ability to kick the field goal, and it's a good field position even if they get stopped. Be interesting to see the play call here if they try to put it in the air, or if they continue to stick with the ground game that they've used thus far on the drive.
Snap back, handoff to McFadden. No, Robinson keeps it, fakes the handoff, breaks loose out of the pile. He's got a 1st down inside the 5-yard line, and he'll be hauled in. And, Danny, we talked about it in the pregame about using the feet of Jared Robinson.
I mean, you could see it there. I mean, he has the ability, and I tell you, it's not just ability, but it's passion. You could see the excitement that he had there, that he made a big play. We know this about Jaron Robinson. He's a passionate kid. He's going to play hard. He's going to try hard, and he really wants to win. And he does have the ability. I think he's got to do more of. They've got to give him more opportunities to do that. 1st
and goal from the 4. Snap back to Robinson. Hand off to McFadden. McFadden runs hard, and South Harrison gets into the end zone. 7:37 to go here in the first quarter, and South Harrison scores. It's the best the offense has looked.
There's no question. I mean, a little bit of a little bit of confusion with some of the formations, but at the end of the day, they took the opening drive, went down and got a touchdown. McFadden had some nice runs. The big play of the drive was the 4th and 5 with Robinson. Made a really nice fake and a nice run, broke some tackles, and they were able to get on the board first. That's really big for this team, I think.
Going for 2 here. They are 0 for 2 on the season. 2-point conversion attempts. Snap back, hands it off to McFadden. Looks like he bobbled the ball a little bit, and it was enough to keep him out of the end zone. So that's 0 and 3 on the year, 2-point conversion attempts. South Harrison 6, Parkersburg Catholic 0.
You got to be happy with the start if you're the Hawks. And they got the opening kickoff. Good return by McFadden. Get that drive, the first drive, get in the end zone, take the lead. And so good job. We said the offense has got to do better. It's got to score more points. Early on, they've answered the bell. This defense has shown improvement. They've tackled better. Let's see if they can continue to take a step forward here tonight against Parkersburg Catholic.
Encourage you to join us for the Good Hope Hawks Nest halftime show. Good Hope Hawks Nest is extending their restaurant hours for every South Harrison Hawks home game. The restaurant and convenience store will both be open until 10 p.m. Also, on Saturdays, it's WVU Game Day. It's a special. It will include 1 medium, 1 topping pizza, a dozen chicken wings, and 2 liters of Pepsi for $19.95. Plus, each special purchased will give you 1 entry to win 2 free tickets to a WVU football game. Good deal there by our friends at the Good Hope Hawks Nest.
Absolutely nice, definitely. So take advantage of that. After the game, they're staying open late. They're supporting your student athletes, so support them.
Joshua Thomaschek lines up the freshman to kick it away. It's a low kick, takes a hop right around the 35. And number 22, Logan Ayers, falls on top of it right around the 35-yard line.
Let's see this defense come out here and get a stop. I mean, the crowd here very, very excited after that first opening drive. You could just see the anticipation right now in the stands for this defense to come out and get a stop.
At quarterback, number 1, Xavier Colley. He's got a man in motion. That's number 10, Jeff Boyce. Colley's going to keep it. Running out to the outside, slips multiple tackles, but then is going to be brought down behind the line of scrimmage. And I remember Xavier Colley from last year.
They had everyone spread out there, but just snapped it to the quarterback in the shotgun, and then he was going to run a sweep to the outside. The Hawks were ready for it. Almost tackled for a big loss. He was able to slip out of that, but they were still able to get him down behind the line of scrimmage, so a nice start for this defense.
I formation, Colley is under center. 2nd down and 11. Snap back, hands it off to his tailback. That's number 10, Jeff Boyce.
Fumble.
There is a fumble on the field, and I think the Hawks got it. Yes, they did. So big play there for the Hawks, and if they can keep that offense churning, good things for the Hawks tonight.
No doubt. I mean, listen, you can't ask for a better start. With the kickoff return, the opening touchdown, the defense forces a turnover. You got the ball right back in good field position. Exactly what you want to see. It looks early on here that it's good for the Hawks to be back at Gary Barnett Field.
Absolutely. Recovered right there on the 36-yard line of the Parkersburg Catholic Crusaders. .6:51 to go. The Hawks leading. Snap back, hand off Jacob Haddix. Tries to get to the outside. He's got some room. Buffed ahead. Flips a couple tackles. And that's the best run for Jacob Haddix all season long. But there is a flag on the play.
Looks like it's probably going to be a holding where the flag was thrown. The coaching staff for Parkersburg Catholic was kind of up in arms. It would happen right in front of them. It is, in fact, a hold.
Hold against the Hawks. You know, good start for the Hawks. You don't want to get into this where you start making those mistakes that stifles that momentum.
Right, absolutely. I mean, you got the turnover and really good field position, but that, the holding puts you behind the sticks right off the bat. Nonetheless, I think they can overcome it. We'll see what they can do here.
First down and about 20. Ball back at the 43. It's a handoff to Haddix. He's gang tackled, and then a flag is thrown. What do you think this is?
I'm going to guess face mask. No. Holding. Oh. Wow.
Holding against the Hawks.
Just where they threw that flag was weird. I mean, like it was in a pile.
Yeah.
And getting tackled. I don't know how. I don't know. I mean, he has a better vantage point than me. That's too. See, this is what you. Yeah, definitely you're hurting yourself now with the penalties, negating the momentum that you had gotten after the turnover.
After 2 holding penalties, it's first down and a mile, and the Hawks are back in their own territory after starting at the Crusader 36. Out of the pistol. Snap back to Robinson. Fakes the handoff, and multiple flags thrown again. It's going to be a false start against the Hawks. That'll add 5 more to the mile, and the Hawks are going in the wrong direction.
Wow, yeah, it's got to be very frustrating for this coaching staff after things really started the way I'm sure they scripted it or would hope for it to start. But now just giving yardage away is that's very frustrating for coaches. Mental mistakes.
Our best guess is it's about first down and 32 to go. Snap back. Fakes the handoff, toss back to McFadden. He's got some room. He's up over midfield, knocked out of bounds around the 45, and he took a large chunk of that 32 away right there.
Just the ball in his hands. He does something with it. They faked the handoff, and then it was an option play to the right. Robinson made the pitch back to McFadden, who made a really nice cutback move in the backfield to break free and get a nice gain. At least getting some of that yardage back. I tell you, I would love to see a screen pass to McFadden. I mean, I obviously like the ball in his hands, but a screen pass, just a safe little pass, but to get him the ball in space.
Second down and about 19. Handoff to McFadden again. He's got some room. He's wrapped up very quickly by number 73, Wade Smitley, 6'6", 335 pounds. A big boy.
No doubt. So third down and long here.
About 15.
McFadden coming off the field here. I can't tell if he's shaken up or just worn out. So that's certainly a development on 3rd and 15 for him to not be on the field.
And they're back to the wing tee. Fumble. Robinson does recover, but that's going to bring up 4th down, and South Harrison, who had an opportunity to really take advantage of a turnover by Parkersburg Catholic, has in turn turned it back over after an onslaught of penalties, and Thomas checks out there to punt it away. Another missed opportunity for the Hawks.
Just really squandered a chance right there to take a big lead. I'm watching to see if they're not going to fake this.
Low snap. Thomas Check handles it. Punts. It's a tremendous punt. Takes a hop at the 9 and rolls out of bounds at the 1 yard line.
Wow.
What a tremendous punt there by the freshman.
He's been a bright spot this season. He's done a good job. He's had to deal with multiple bad snaps this season. He's done it and gotten pretty good punts out. That was another one that bounced. That could have went really bad. Instead, he had a tremendous punt down inside the 1 yard line. You can't ask for anything more. Very impressed so far with the young freshman, how he's handled himself.
4:35 to go here in the first quarter. 6-0 is the score. The Hawks leading. Colley under center. Hands it off. to his fullback, number 44, Jalen Bruni, just to get some breathing room. Gets the football up around the 4-yard line, maybe the 5. Brings up second down and about 7.
Quick dive to the fullback. Really smart play, like you say, just trying to get a little breathing room back there as not to get a safety. And obviously they turned it over the last time they had the football. So I think the coaching staff of Parkersburg Catholic right now is just happy with some positive gains here, even a little bit at a time, just to try to get out of that hole.
Colley under center again. I couldn't tell if he pitched it, tossed it, what happened there, but it ended up in the hands of number 10, Jeb Boyce, who rumbles ahead for a couple more. Going to bring up a third down and about 4.
I think it was a toss, but it was bouncing on the ground. I'll tell you that. It was on the ground again. It fortunately for Parkersburg Catholic bounced right back into his hands. He was actually somehow able to make a positive gain. It's third and manageable here. See if the Hawks can't get a stop.
Third down and a long 3. Hands it off to the fullback, Bruni. And he only gets a couple. He'll be short of the first down. It's going to bring up fourth down and about 1. The Hawks are going to get the football back.
Good stop there on 3rd and short by South Harrison. I assume they're going to punt this away, although it is 4th and short. But they're deep. Yeah, they're going to punt.
Haddix back deep for the Hawks. The punt is up. It's a good one. Takes a hop at the 40 and then a South Harrison bounce. And Bruni's going to grab it somewhere around the 38-yard line. That's where the Hawks will start this drive. Another good opportunity with great field position.
All 3 drives have started in Parkersburg Catholic territory. The last 2 inside the 40-yard line. Unfortunately, last time they immediately put themselves back on the other side of the field with penalties. Hopefully this time they can execute and get some more points on the board here. It's been a good first quarter outside of the mistakes that they've had to hurt themselves.
Officially, the ball is placed at the Crusader 39, and the Hawks are back in the wing tee. Toss back to McFadden, trying to find somewhere to go. He's going to lose about 5 yards.
He's coming in motion. They're tossing it to him. That's basically, it becomes very predictable. Now, I will say what they've done in the past is after they've done that a few times, he'll hand it right back off on a counter or a reverse back the other way. They may want to try that right now because you can see Parkersburg Catholic really flowing to the football on that toss.
Second down and 15. Tosses it and then hands it off to Haddix. Nice run there by Haddix. He's going to gain 6 or 7. Still going to bring up third down and long, but at least they're going in the right direction.
Yeah, that's the exact play I was speaking of. They really did set it up well. I think that was the time for it. They're going to have to keep mixing that in order for to be able to run that toss sweep that it seems that's their bread and butter if they're going to stick with this offense.
Officials timeout. It's going to be third down and 8.
Looks like Robinson has a wardrobe malfunction out there.
I'm not sure what that means.
He was having issues with his uniform. They had to fix it.
Snap back. Fakes a handoff to the fullback. Robinson's going to keep it. It's going to be a fumbled football. He attempted to toss it back to McFadden and just mishandled it.
Yeah, it was an option play. He wanted to pitch it out there. He waited a little bit too long. When you're running the option as a quarterback, you have to be very decisive. Now, that's easier said than done because you got to make a decision quickly. He was a little bit unsure. I think he really would have preferred to keep it, but at the last second decided to pitch it. But really, I think the defender got his hand on the ball and knocked it down. They're fortunate that they were able to recover it.
Thomas check back out there to punt it away. Again, he has to pick it up off the ground and still delivers a tremendous punt
No way.
And it's going to roll out at the 2-yard line.
No way. Exactly. I mean, it's the same thing. I mean, he put it down inside
right
coffin corner
yeah.
is what they call it, and handled another tough snap. I'm thinking there's no way he just did the same thing again. But, in fact, he did. So, I mean, that's a factor. Listen, that's a major field position change. I mean, you hate it that you've not scored, but what you have done here because of his punting is you've pinned them back, and it really does limit what they can do offensively.
Ball at the 2-yard line. Tomaschek has wreaked havoc on the Crusaders here as far as field positioning is concerned. Colley under center. Hands it off to his fullback, Bruni. Hit by multiple Hawks, including number 32, Jacob Haddix, and number 14, Landon McFadden. He gains maybe a yard, 2nd down and 9.
I mean, you can clearly see the field position, and I mean, it's just common sense. I mean, it's affecting the play calling of Parkersburg Catholic. This is not what they want to do. They want to spread it out. They want to get to the outside. I think they want to throw the ball some, but you just can't do that down here. So you're forcing them to be conservative, and not only conservative, but you're making them go outside of their comfort zone of what they want to do. So give a lot of credit to the young punter who has had a major impact on this first quarter.
First quarter has come to a close, and it finds the Hawks on top for the first time this season. 6-0 is the score. We'll be back. Mountain State Land Surveying, providing boundary surveys for residential, farm, and commercial properties, along with FEMA elevation certificates and construction layout services. Mountain State Land Surveying, call 304-476-8668 for all of your surveying needs. Again, that's Mountain State Land Surveying, 304-476-8668, a proud supporter of South Harrison High School.
Richards Heating and Air Conditioning for all your heating and cooling needs. Installation and service. Phone 304-884-6400. Located in Jane Lew and serving the South Harrison area. Call Richards Heating and Air Conditioning at 304-884-6400. Visit their webpage at richardsheating.com or find them on Facebook under Richards Heating and Air Conditioning.
6-0 is the score. The Hawks on top to start this second quarter. The first drive for the Hawks, Danny, was pretty good. Parkersburg Catholic had a very difficult time stopping the Hawks. But since then, the Hawks have stopped the Hawks.
It couldn't be said any better. That's exactly right. They've stopped themselves with penalties and miscues. Hopefully they can get another stop and get the ball back with some good field position and overcome those mistakes.
In at quarterback now is Jeb Boyce. He's going to keep it. Tremendous tackle there by number 10, Jaron Robinson, right at the 5-yard line. It's going to bring up 3rd down and about 7.
Gotta love the fire of Jaron Robinson. I made reference to it after the big run, but I mean, this is a young man that he cares and he's passionate. He's playing hard and making plays on both sides of the ball.
3rd down and 7. Snap back. Boyce at quarterback. Fakes the pass. Slips at the 1-yard line. So close to being a safety there.
Yeah, I think he maybe had some room to run had he got through there. He was flushed out of the pocket, but he slipped, and you're right. I mean, just barely outside of the goal line. It would have been a safety. The Hawks should come out of this with really, really good field position. Most likely they're going to have it in Parkersburg Catholic territory yet again, starting out.
Back to receive the punt, number 32, Jacob Haddix. And Boyce punts out of his own end zone, right out of bounds around the 31. Great field position again.
I mean, listen, you can't – when your average field position is probably, the 35, 40-yard line of the opposing team, I mean, that's what you want. That's exactly what you want to have. The thing is you've got to capitalize on it. They have not done that so far. They need to now. You can't continue to miss these opportunities.
1st and 10 from the 31-yard line. Robinson gets the snap, hands it off to McFadden. He's got some room, and, man, it was so close to being a game breaker right there, but he's tackled after gaining a yard.
It looked there. You're right. You looked for a second like he may be able to just squirt through there real quick and get to the outside. Had he done that, we know what would happen. It would be a touchdown. Still not a bad game. Really, Parkersburg Catholic got lucky to get that tackle.
2nd down and 9. Handoff this time to Haddix. Trying to find some room. Gets back to the 30 and brought down there by Boyce. And they're running, I've noticed they're running McFadden in and out more often, but the same thing this time that happened the last time is 3rd down and McFadden's on the sideline.
And he can't be. Yeah, I mean, that just simply stated he can't be on the field on 3rd downs. He's their offense. Now, I think they have they got to develop some other things. I think Robinson is a playmaker, but if they're going to get these 3rd downs, McFadden needs to be on the field.
Toss back to Haddix, trying to get to the outside. Boyce in pursuit. Brought down behind the line of scrimmage is Haddix, and it's 4th down. So the Hawks, after that first initial drive, Danny, they just haven't been able to get anything going. I want to point back to last year where South Harrison had some very early success against Parkersburg Catholic, and then Parkersburg Catholic really settled into the game, and it was apparent at halftime that head coach Lance Benninger made some changes, made some adjustments, and it was a better Parkersburg Catholic football team.
There's no question. That's an excellent point, and you're exactly right. Good start by the Hawks, but he's already adjusted.
4th and 9, they're going for it. Snap back to McFadden. Trying to get some room, turns the corner, got a block, and a 1st down does McFadden. I guess if you're Coach Underwood and McFadden can run like that on 4th down, he can be on the sidelines for 3rd down, right?
Point made, there's no doubt. I think I assume he did know he was going to go for it on 4th down in that situation. So, really nice run. Not a bad play call there, I don't think, on 4th down. They were able to – the playmaker made a play. Good job by McFadden.
1st down and 10 from the 14-yard line. Robinson back in at quarterback. Hands it off to McFadden. McFadden tries to get to the outside. He's got some room down inside the 5-yard line. I think he's near the 1st down marker, just short. Ball right at the 5.
McFadden, not a big kid, but he's tough to tackle. And it seems like he's slippery tonight. Does it look like that?
Yeah.
He's just kind of slipping through tackles. It's hard to say like he's not overpowering and breaking tackles. They just can't get their hands on him or can't grab a hold of him, and he's just slipping right through for nice gains.
Second down, 1 from the 5. Handoff that time to Haddix, and he stopped right at the line of scrimmage, nowhere to go.
Just would like to see Robinson run the ball more. I just would. I just like to see. We need someone else to make a play, and so far he's been the only one that has been able to do that.
Third down and 1. Ball to 5. Hand off to Haddix. Hit behind the line of scrimmage. And now it's 4th down.
I mean, they're definitely resting. Either McFadden is dinged up a little bit, or they're resting him a lot. it's definitely it's being done on purpose. He's been off the field on third down, but they do know they're going for it on fourth. So.
And here comes McFadden, ball back at the 6-yard line now. I've seen him discussing things with Coach Underwood. The play has been called. McFadden ran it in, and we'll see what happens here. But I guarantee you it's going to end up in the hands of McFadden. Snap back, fakes the handoff. No, Robinson keeps it and gets into the end zone for a South Harrison touchdown. And you got to like that play call there by Coach Underwood. I mean, everybody in the stadium, and I actually almost said that, thought it was going to McFadden.
Right. Well, I mean, yeah, absolutely. I mean, he's really been, outside of Robinson, been the only one to make a play on the ground. I think that play goes back to the last one where Robinson kind of fumbled trying to make the pitch. I think he wished he would have kept it last time. Knowing him and his mentality, I think he said, I'm keeping this ball on this play and I'm getting in the end zone. And, in fact, he did.
2-point conversion attempt for the Hawks. Snap comes back, fakes the handoff. He's going to pass it. He's got a man open. That's Haddix. And Haddix gets in. 2-point conversion attempt is good. The Hawks up 14-0, and you can see the excitement down there by those two senior leaders, number 10, Jaron Robinson, and number 14, Landon McFadden.
Oh, you got to love the leadership that they're showing right now on the field with their play, and then emotionally leading this team. And honestly, this crowd, I mean, they have the fans in a frenzy right now. Everyone is thrilled to be back at Gary Barnett Field for Friday Night Lights and high school football, and the Hawks haven't disappointed here in the first half, jumping out to a 14-0 lead. They're looking good. It's really nice to see.
Speaking of looking good, the Good Hope Hawks Nest will be keeping its restaurant hours open this evening extra late for the South Harrison Hawks home game tonight and every home game this season. The restaurant and convenience store will be both open until 10 p.m. Also on Saturdays, WVU Game Day Special. It includes 1 medium, 1 topping pizza, a dozen chicken wings, and 2 liters of Pepsi for $19.95. Now, each special purchase will actually give you 1 entry to win 2 free tickets to a WVU football game. So stop in, see our friends at the Good Hope Hawks Nest.
That makes me hungry. Reading all that. Sounds good, doesn't it?
Absolutely.
Sounds like a good deal. Take advantage of it tomorrow. Stop after the game. Keeping it open late.
I've had their pizza. It's good.
Yeah.
Thomas Check going to kick it away. Boyce back for the Crusaders, who, if you're the Crusaders, you're starting to feel a sense of urgency. It's a low kick. Takes a hop right around the 40. Hawks all over it. Looks like number 31, Zach Hogshead, in there on the tackle. Assisted by number 86, the freshman Nate Copley. And Crusaders will start this drive at their own 35-yard line.
South Harrison's definitely come in here and taken control of this game. I mean, the only thing that hasn't gone their way has been their own self-inflicted penalties. Outside of that, they've really kept Parkersburg Catholic in check with the field position and with their defense.
Snap comes back to Colley. Colley pitches back to Boyce. He gets up over the 40 to about the 42. Nice gain there by Boyce. You know, Danny, we talked about the 2 toughest games of the season, in our opinion, were the last 2 games. And in my opinion, they have helped prepare the Hawks for this game tonight.
I agree. I think we felt like they needed to survive those 2 games and still have some semblance of confidence.
And be injury-free.
And be injury-free. And they did that, and you can't. I think they are reaping the benefits right now in this game. 2nd
down and 3. Colley under center, hands it off to Bruni. Bruni is hit immediately by number 75, Trey Waller. And Trey Waller said, "You're not going anywhere," and he did not. No gain.
Third down and short. They've not really gotten much going offensively, Parkersburg Catholic. If you're looking at it from their perspective, they need a first down right now just to try to keep their defense off the field and to try to get something going for them.
Snap back to Cawley. Tosses it back to Boyce. He has a first down and a lot of room. Gets to the outside. Hunter Bunch in pursuit. Coming out of nowhere, number 21, Noah Dyer makes a touchdown-saving tackle as the Crusaders and Boyce get deep into South Harrison territory down to the 15-yard line.
Quick toss out to the right. Immediately the back made a cut right up the field. And then he made a really nice cut back to what looked like he was going to cruise for a touchdown. Give Dyer credit for making the touchdown-saving tackle. But a big play for Parkersburg Catholic that gets them right back in this game. At least they feel that it does.
Here come the Crusaders. Line up in I formation. Cawley under center. There's going to be a timeout on the field. Parkersburg Catholic takes a timeout. From my perspective, and again, I'm looking back over last year and some of the things I picked up on, Parkersburg Catholic did a good job last year of settling in. Correct me if I'm wrong, South Harrison started the game last year about like this.
Yeah.
And Parkersburg Catholic was able, to end up winning that football game. That's not a prediction. If the Hawks keep playing like they're playing, they're going to win tonight. But the Hawks had injuries and everything last year. I guess the point that I'm trying to make is that the coaching staff at Parkersburg Catholic seemed to have it together.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? Like they have the ability to make the adjustments to keep Parkersburg Catholic in the game when it looks like South Harrison is going to run away with it. And let's be honest, the opportunity South Harrison has had, they could be up 28-0 right now.
They really should be up more. But, I agree with you. I mean, they have a quality coaching staff over there. We saw it last season with the adjustments. And, this is a 4-quarter ball game. And I think South Harrison needs to understand that because I guarantee they're not giving up over there. And they're making adjustments, and they will continue to do so. And they're going to keep fighting and clawing. So, good start by the Hawks, but they've got to keep it going if they want to win tonight.
First down and 10 from the 15-yard line. Cawley is under center. Snap comes back. He's going to pass. Passes it up the field. He's got a man open. His intended receiver there, number 15, Ethan Lang, 6'3", 195-pound junior. Deflected there. Defending number 25, Caden Ryan, was able to get his hand on it, and it's incomplete.
Nice job by Caden Ryan there. He adjusted to the ball well while it was in the air and was able to get his hand up and deflect it. Had he not, it probably would have been a touchdown. So good job for Caden Ryan defensively.
Second down and 10 from the 15. I formation. Snap back to Cawley. Cawley fakes the handoff, then pitches it back to Boyce. Boyce hit low and brought down behind the line of scrimmage by number 14, Landon McFadden. He'll lose a couple in the play, brings up third down and 12.
Misdirection play there. They kind of faked the handoff up the middle to the left, turned and pitched it back to the right. Did not fool McFadden at all. He stayed at home. And then he made a textbook tackle. That's how you teach kids to tackle. He got low, he wrapped up, and he flipped him right back down to the ground. So nice job by McFadden. Again, these players making impacts on both sides of the ball.
Shotgun formation, 2 receivers to his left, 1 to his right. That's Boyce. Snap comes back. He's going to pass. Looks up the field. Throws it across the middle. He's got a receiver in the end zone. And it is a Crusader touchdown. No laundry on the field. The receiver there, number 2, Nick Stricker, 5'8" senior. Touchdown. Parkersburg Catholic back in the football game.
Right back in it. It's a post pattern. The defender for South Harrison was clearly beat. He was wide. The Parkersburg Catholic receiver wide open in the end zone. They put the quarterback put it on the mark, and it was a catch for a touchdown. We'll see what they do if they're going to go for 2 or kick the extra point. But you said it, they're right back in it.
Officials timeout. Looks like maybe a helmet issue for Boyce. I don't know if that changes what Coach Benninger over there was going to do. Looks like I think they may kick this extra point here.
Look like it.
If you have that place kicker, you would, right?
You should, yeah, absolutely. No reason not to. I think it's easier if you can kick it. You got a better chance to get that.
Kick is up and good. Kicking there, number 7, Clayton Dexter, the senior for Parkersburg Catholic. I mean, they are senior laden. Crazy. I think 12 seniors on this team.
Well, and I mean, that goes back to your point. If it's a coaching staff that adjusts. If they're seniors, they're kids that have seen a lot. They have experience. They're not going to tuck their tails and run because they're down 14-0 on the road, and they're going to keep playing. And so we expected that. They came back. We just got the Hawks have to just continue to do what they've been doing outside. Clean some things up, get away from the penalties, capitalize when they have opportunities. But overall, definitely, their best half of football so far this season.
Not to be Debbie Downer, so to speak, but just some concerns as I'm sitting here and just thinking about it. Last week we saw fatigue set in for the Hawks. When you're asking a small group of guys to do a large group of the work,
right.
that could be a factor as well.
It could be. I mean, you hope that, week 3 starting to get in a little bit better condition. Also, I look over on the other side of the field, and they don't have a lot of players either. In fact, I think they have less than South Harrison does. So I think that could be, that probably helps that. But it's a good point that we have to keep an eye on.
14-7 is the score. 3:38 to go here in the second quarter. Bruni lines up to kick it away. Back for the Hawks, Haddix and Ryan. I was looking down the field. What happened there?
It was a really bad attempt at an onside kick. It literally just went straight in the air to their coach on the sideline because he caught it. Or he tried to. I think he dropped it. But
wow.
Even South Harrison just kind of stood there and watched it. It didn't have a chance. Kicker wasn't happy with it, and he shouldn't have been.
So once again, South Harrison's going to have pretty good field position as they will start this drive from their own 49-yard line. Wow, what happened?
It's the penalty there for kicking it out of bounds.
Oh, I see. So now it's at the Crusader 46, so
every time and every drive.
I think if I'm Coach Benninger there, I kick it off and force the Hawks to drive the field and battle for field position with 3:38 to go.
I agree. Very good point.
Wing T. Haddix in motion, fakes the handoff. Robinson going to try to run, and he's going to lose about 7 as the biggest kid on the football field, number 73, Wade Smitley, again, 6'6", 335 pounds, wraps up Robinson and brings him to the ground. Now they're back at their own 49.
Big kid, but I tell you, athletic. I mean, he was able to get in the backfield and get his hands on Robinson, who's also very athletic and quick. He was able to get him and get him to the ground quickly. So impressive play there by Parkersburg Catholic.
If you're South Harrison, it's probably a good strategy to eat this clock up. Parkersburg Catholic will get the football to start the second half. Second down and 15 from the 49. Fakes the handoff to McFadden. Robinson's going to run again. Boyce is going to hit him. And he's brought down again. Another loss on the play. Loss of 2. And if you're Parkersburg Catholic, you burn a timeout here. Third down, about 17.
I think I would.
Not going to.
They haven't really. The Hawks they've scored 2 touchdowns, but they haven't really shown the ability to do a lot on third and long, But you talked about the adjustments. They may just be ready. We feel confident if we can get into the locker room, we can make some more adjustments.
South Harrison is going to burn this play clock down, or excuse me, the play clock. Takes a timeout with 1 second. Don't forget to tune in, or stay tuned in, I should say, for the Good Hope Hawks Nest halftime show. As we'll talk about this first half and other things. South Harrison, we've seen improvement, Danny, every single week. They're getting better.
Absolutely, they are. Definitely the best they've looked. It's been a good first half, and hopefully it will continue, and they'll continue to build. If they can continue to build, play in, play out, game in, game out, they can be a pretty decent football team there at the end of the season.
It's going to be third down and about 17 for the Hawks. Shotgun formation, trips to his left. Snap back to Robinson. Passes it up through the hands of Jacob Haddix, and had he caught it, we're probably, if we don't see a first down, we're probably going to see going for it on fourth, because that's how much room he had.
It was definitely good. He would have had a chance to get the first down. He had McFadden out in front to block. There was a lot of room there. He definitely would have had a chance. Unfortunate he wasn't able to haul that in.
Tomaszek, if he can pull off one of them punts like we've seen already this contest, 2:02 to go. And they're going to blow it dead. False start against the Hawks. Going to back them up 5 more.
Penalty's an issue here in the first half, no question.
Definitely
It's been a problem. That's something that's got to get cleaned up. Week 3, it's time. It can't be a problem still.
Snap back. Again, Tomaszek picking it up off the field. And takes a South Harrison roll, but it's still going to go out about the 29-yard line, so not bad field position for Parkersburg Catholic. I don't know how explosive their offense can be. That would be the question. They've been kind of ground and pound, minus the one passing play for a touchdown, so you have to wonder. But you never know. Did Coach Benninger see something that he liked as far as matchups in the secondary?
I think they have the ability for the big play. I kind of expect a mildly conservative call here. I mean, maybe a toss sweep, something to the outside, hoping to get something. And if they get some better field position, maybe they'll pick up the tempo. We'll see. They got 5 wides right now.
And Boyce at quarterback. He's going to run it. Snap back. Yep, he's going to run. Not a whole lot happening there. He kind of looked like he was going to pass, but I think that was to pull defenders. Gains maybe 3. Coach Benninger doesn't seem all that concerned. Clock running here.
No, not in a big hurry. It looked to me that he was looking deep. I don't know. I do agree. I think he was probably more inclined to run there, but Dyer had really good coverage on the deep receiver there.
Collier back in. He's under center. He'll pass.
Ooh.
Trey Waller able to get in there, make contact with the quarterback. Collier able to bounce off, get to the outside, and then he's brought down by number 10, Jaron Robinson. And Parkersburg Catholic now will take a timeout with 1:03 left to go.
That's interesting.
I agree.
I thought if someone was going to take a timeout, it might be South Harrison there, not Parkersburg Catholic, just after the way they've handled those first couple plays. I'm thinking, hey, it's third down long. You just got sacked. You're lucky it wasn't a fumble. I'm probably ready. I'm just like, okay, that's enough. Let's just get to the locker room. But I see what they can pull out here on third down. I mean, I think if you're South Harrison, you're fine with the clock stop out. I mean, I call another time. Make them punt it. It could be a bad snap, could be a block. Doesn't mean you have to be aggressive when you get the ball, but you might be able to make something happen on special teams, assuming they can get the stop here.
(14-7) is the score here late in the first half. 1:03 to go until halftime. Don't forget the Good Hope Hawks Nest halftime show coming up, and they are keeping their kitchen open until 10 p.m. every home game for the 2019 football season. Stop in and see them. Parkersburg Catholic making their way back out onto the field. It's going to be 3rd down and about 12. Ball at their own 27-yard line. Shotgun formation. 2 to his right, 1 to his left. Collier looking to pass. Goes up the field. Passes it long. Into the hands of Landon McFadden. It'll be intercepted. I mean, when you look at it, it's probably not that much different than a punt, right?
No, I'd say if you're Parkersburg Catholic, you're okay with that. You probably do feel like it's safer than a punt. But, I mean, momentum-wise, it's a good play. It's a big play for the Hawks to get the interception. Now it becomes interesting to see what Coach Underwood does here. Looks like with 1 timeout left. Is that
what would you do?
I'd throw a screen pass on the first play to McFadden just to kind of see if I can get him loose, and if I get a big play, then I'm going to be aggressive.
1st and 10 from their own 37. Snap back. It's a toss to McFadden. Tries to get to the outside. He's hit really, really low and brought down at his own 35-yard line. On the tackle was number 3, Eli Gardner.
I mean, their pursuit's been really, really good tonight. Their pass rush has been decent. I mean, not that they've thrown it much, but they've been able to get back there. That's why I think sometimes, that's when a screen comes into play. You allow that team's pursuit to hurt them. It's a very safe play. That's why I like it. And I don't even know if I don't even think they've thrown a screen pass all season long.
18 seconds to go here in the first half. Hand off to McFadden. He's got some room, tries to get to the outside. Boyce all over him, and McFadden gets out of bounds. That'll stop the clock. 10 seconds to go. I think he had enough for a South Harrison first down. Wait and see where, yes, he did. He got a first down there.
Nice run. Toss sweep. What I love, too, is McFadden smart enough to get out of bounds. I mean, I feel like he knew exactly what was going on. He could tell he wasn't going to be able to get, a big play, so he went ahead and got out of bounds.
Well, they didn't stop the clock.
What?
I'm not sure why, but it didn't stop.
Shouldn't the clock stop if it's out of bounds? The clock, I think they messed that up. Honestly, I think the clock should stop out of bounds. If I'm Underwood, I don't let that go. I mean, they got to bring. If he wanted to run a play.
Yeah, he's arguing the point.
Yeah, I mean, it was.
He was out of bounds.
Stops. Parkersburg Catholic, run, boys, get in the locker room.
I think they're going to bring him back out. No, they're not.
I think
wow.
See, that kind of stuff irritates me, and if I know that's right, I'm Coach Underwood. I'm staying on the 50-yard line. I'm not leaving. We're not going to the locker room. I mean, if assuming he wanted to call, I mean, maybe obviously he did want to call a play because he's arguing it,
Well, that brings the first half to a close. The Hawks leading for the first time this season at the half with a score of 14-7. Take a break. Be right back.
Richards Heating and Air Conditioning for all your heating and cooling needs. Installation and service. Phone 304-884-6400. Located in Jane Lew and serving the South Harrison area. Call Richards Heating and Air Conditioning at 304-884-6400. Visit their webpage at richardsheating.com or find them on Facebook under Richards Heating and Air Conditioning.
Mountain State Land Surveying, providing boundary surveys for residential, farm, and commercial properties, along with FEMA elevation certificates and construction layout services. Mountain State Land Surveying, call 304-476-8668 for all of your surveying needs. Again, that's Mountain State Land Surveying, 304-476-8668 a proud supporter of South Harrison High School. South Harrison High School Marching Band on the field, entertaining here during halftime. You're inside the Good Hope Hawks Nest halftime show. South Harrison leading 14-7 over the Parkersburg Catholic Crusaders. And speaking of our friends at the Good Hope Hawks Nest, they are extending their hours for the restaurant and convenience store until 10 p.m. on Friday nights when the Hawks play at home. So stop in and see them. And if you don't make it in tonight, stop by tomorrow. They're offering a WVU game day special. Now listen to this. You'll get 1 medium, 1 topping pizza, and a dozen chicken wings. But that's not all. You get 2 liters of Pepsi for $19.95. And yet, if that's not good enough, there's still more. Every time you purchase the special, you get entered into a drawing for 2 free tickets to a WVU football game. It's a good deal.
Sounds like a no-brainer to me. Right? All the stuff that you named there for that price, and then you might win tickets to the WVU game. If everybody, they should sell out tomorrow. If everybody doesn't go get that, I don't know what's going on.
Support them. They're supporting us and our athletes here at South Harrison High School. Well, Danny, what do you think about the first half?
I think to me the theme is improvement. They've improved as the season goes on, and tonight they've shown the most improvement so far that they have all season long, and they've got the lead, and really they've been in control of this game the entire first half, outside of the plays that they've hurt themselves with penalties. Now, Parkersburg Catholic did have the big play and got into the end zone, but overall, very nice first half for the Hawks.
Opportunities missed as well, though, right?
Yes.
But much improved.
Absolutely. It could be they could have more points on the board. But I think the message, though, from Underwood and is probably mostly positive. This is again a young team trying to build this team up, build their confidence. The point is they're getting better, and that's what you want to see. Is there room for more improvement? Absolutely. That could have been – they could have 28 points easily in that first half. They didn't have it. But they do have 14. They are up 7. A lot of good things going on. Let's hope that continues to build in the second half.
Well, and I think you said it, improvement every single week. And if you're a coach, really what else can you ask for, right? You want to see your teams improving, and that's happening.
That's right. Absolutely. You'd love them to play perfect, but that never happens. And they didn't play a perfect half, but they played a solid half.
They did.
A solid half. They've got the lead.
Because we talk about missed opportunities, but at the same time, Parkersburg Catholic had some opportunities of their own, and the Hawks, they stopped that.
True. Very true. This is not a bad Parkersburg Catholic football team. They're really not.
And they're experienced and very much intact from the team last year that beat the Hawks.
Yes, that's absolutely true. If the Hawks can hold on here in the second half and get the win, it's a big-time win. It's a quality win.
Be a very, very nice win for the program. Well, Danny, a lot happening, not only here at South Harrison High School, but around the state. Football is in its 3rd week, and, some identities of some different teams are starting to, take form, so to speak, and we felt like the Hawks, if they could get through week 1 and week 2, their schedule was going to let up a little bit. Next week, they're going to have a bye week.
Yeah.
That's better, right?
It is.
So get the win tonight. Have a week off, rest, work on things that you've seen through the first 3 weeks of the season, and have an opportunity to even build even more from the momentum of tonight's win, if you can get it.
If you can get it right, I think so. I mean, it sets up well for them now that they got through that opening 2 weeks. They survived it, and they're doing well here tonight. Again, it's just it's a big second half. This is a really, when you look back at this season, I think this second half can really be critical to set the tone one way or another. I mean, if they can get this win, I think they can really get on a streak. If they would happen to falter, I just think you go to 0-3, you got a week off. I mean, you're dealing with low morale, so they need to come. They need to get this win. We said before. I mean, if you talk about playoffs, I think that's a stretch, but nonetheless, it's still a mathematical possibility. You got to win tonight, though, for that to be the case.
I agree. Yeah, and still some tough games on the schedule. It's
Yeah.
not like it's a cakewalk by any means. So, we said earlier we were talking about the food contest that we are partaking in, and we talked about the competitiveness of trying to find a way for you and I to compete in something. And I guess we probably did start something last week when we talked about the West Virginia game.
Right.
And you picked Missouri
Yes.
to win, if I recall, 20-10.
20-10.
And I picked West Virginia to win 35-28.
Yes. I don't remember the score, but I know you did pick West Virginia. And it was fairly high scoring, yes.
And I remember saying there's probably not going to be that many points scored.
Which there was, just all by Missouri.
Yeah, all by Missouri.
Yeah.
So we talked about it a little bit in the pregame. Let's dissect it a little more. Look back to last week and then move ahead to tomorrow. Missouri, pretty good football team. I thought that Missouri was, and
Yes.
I thought that I did not think that after their week 1 loss to Wyoming. And I mean, pretty good, right? I mean, pretty good. We've seen good football teams lose to teams they shouldn't lose to before.
Yeah.
So there's Missouri. West Virginia comes out of the gate, barely gets by JMU, James Madison, and then just really like they wasn't there on the field last week. I mean,
Yeah.
bland. A lot of criticism coming at Coach Brown already. And I pay attention to the boards and
Sure,
stuff.
yeah.
I watch all that stuff, so I see a lot of this. But a lot of people talking about how bland his offense is. So I want to hone in on that for a minute. They've called him very conservative and, all these things. Of course, it's probably the same individuals that were talking about how Coach Holgorsen had no game management or clock management. So with that being said, do you think, number one, just yes or no, do you think the offense looks a little bland? Yes or no? Just yes or no?
Yes.
Okay. Now, here's the next question, and this is where you'll get to elaborate. Is it out of necessity?
Yes.
Okay.
I mean, I think it looks bland because you don't have playmakers. I mean, hey, you hand the ball to Tavon Austin, he makes a cutback and runs for touchdown. What a play call that. Mm-hmm. It's the same plays they're calling right now. It's just that Tavon Austin isn't the one running the ball. It's not, it's not Will Greer throwing it. It's not Gary Jennings or David Sills catching it. I mean, I think that's, is he being conservative? Yes, I do think it's out of necessity. I just don't think they have the playmakers right now. I think here's the biggest disappointment for me, and I think for this team, it's the offensive line. They are not blocking well.
No.
We felt like coming in that was going to be a strength, and we could run the football. We have not run the football at all. If you can't run it, you're in trouble. And so they're losing at the line of scrimmage, and that's who's been majorly underwhelmed. I don't know how much people are talking about that, but that's who they should be talking about.
There is that scuttle of the offensive line not winning the one-on-one battles and the surprise that it was supposed to be our strength,
Yes.
without a doubt. But with that being said, let me ask you another question, which I don't know what your thoughts are on this. Do we have, and this is going to seem like an odd question, do we have a quarterback controversy?
No.
No. You hesitated, though.
Because we don't have a quarterback. How do you have a controversy if you don't have a quarterback?
Well,
that's my
okay.
answer.
Did you find yourself last week watching the game and thinking, let's try something else here? Yes or no?
Yes, sure, absolutely.
Okay.
Absolutely.
We already had seen Allison, and he was, to put it politely, a disaster, right? I'm kind of advocating, let's see what Trey Lowe can do. Dual threat?
I don't disagree. I think those words came out of my mouth last week. I to be honest, I don't. Now listen, Neil Brown knows way more than I do. He's been at every practice. He's watching video. I haven't. Okay, so I mean, I just want to say that. But I kind of said when they still hadn't announced a starting quarterback, and it was like a week and a half before the first game. To me, I'm thinking it just needs to be Trey Lowe. If nobody else has won the job outright, let's go with the freshman who can run. Then he adds a dual threat. And I'm saying, hey, if we're going to throw 2 interceptions, let Trey Lowe throw 2 interceptions. I mean, because at least he can run, and he has another dimension, and he's the one that's got the most time. If we're going to get beaten, take our lumps, let's let him do it to get better. I think he has the most upside. Again, there may be things that we don't know about Trey Lowe. Maybe he doesn't understand the offense enough. Maybe, these are things we don't know. But, I mean, yes, on the surface.
But Mountaineer Nation is having this conversation, which is why I asked the question, is there a controversy? Maybe not with the coaching staff, which is where it really matters, I suppose. But I mean, somewhere along the way. Now, is it Doge from Bowling Green? Is that how you pronounce his name?
I don't know how you say it, but yeah.
Okay, so the guy from Bowling Green, they say he's the best quarterback on the team. That's what everyone says. So, some of the people are saying, well, wait a minute, let's pull his red shirt, let's just go with it. Let's do it. I don't know if I like that. And maybe that's why Trey Lowe's not getting the nod. Maybe because Coach Brown knows, listen, the guy is red-shirted right now. The guy is redshirted.
Right. That's an excellent point. It could be, and it also could be, he just got granted his eligibility like a couple weeks ago. In a couple weeks, maybe we'll do it. But if you go Trey Lowe, then that's
what's
very
the
possible.
red shirt rule?
You can, I think.
Are they allowed to participate in 4 games?
They can play in a certain amount. Yeah, I mean that's.
I thought I had seen, and I don't quote me on this, but I thought I had seen that. In the last 4 games of the regular season, you can pull the red shirt and play them without any next season implications. Does that sound right?
There's some rules like that. I'm not super familiar with it enough to say, but I mean, there's more. They've broadened the rule where there's more flexibility and you can actually play kids longer. I almost feel like it might be late in the season is when you can't play them. Like if you're going to play them, you got to play them early and then pull.
Okay.
But I could be wrong. But
I'll look that up. So, what do you think about how the defense is doing?
I think we'll see tomorrow a little bit more. I mean, it's not looked real good either. I mean, obviously, just overall don't look good. I mean, that's just the talent.
We talked about it earlier that this is what Holgorsen left behind. At what point is it no longer Holgorsen? I mean, at what point in this season, if we don't see improvement, if we don't see things changing, at what point is it no longer Holgorsen?
In 2 years.
You think so?
I think you got to give him 3. I think in his 3rd season, that's when you can start to say. I'm not saying you can't evaluate some of his coaching stuff, but I mean, if the players aren't there, if they just don't have it, they don't have it. It's hard. I mean, I don't know if you're, whatever coach you want to say out there, Bo Schembechler. I don't know why he keeps coming to my mind. I don't know.
Nick Saban. He's
a good coach, right? Nick Saban. I mean, I don't think Nick Saban's winning games with this football team either. I really don't.
Okay, so then
I mean, the talent level he's dealing with down there is a little different.
Ladies and gentlemen, you're listening to the Good Hope Hawkfnest halftime show, talking a little bit of Mountaineer football. Danny, Kendall obviously hasn't had a ton of time. The offensive line has really struggled. They're not blocking for the backs. They're not protecting for the quarterback. But there have been moments where he's had time. Kendall, have you liked what you've seen?
Not really. I mean, some of he was consistently overthrowing last week, so his accuracy is not great. Again, but it's still I think I think he needs a little more time and to have a chance to continue to improve and get better. But, I mean,
Allison.
But if you're asking me to speculate on his ability, I don't know that he's ever going to be what we want him to be.
Okay, Allison. Jack Allison comes into the game, throws an interception. Brown pulls him, doesn't put him back on the field. Did you like that call?
Well, yeah. I mean, if he throws an interception, I don't. And I think it was a chance to see Trey Lowe, but they didn't really do anything with him. So hopefully, we'll see. We'll see what happens. I would definitely. I think, again, going back to the offensive line, I think that's really been the issue for this football team, because if they could start running the ball more effectively, I think it opens things up in the passing game, some play action, some things to keep the pass rush down. So hopefully we'll see that offensive line improve. That's going to be the key to this football team if they're going to turn things around. There's no doubt.
Inside the Good Hope Hawks Nest halftime show, where the Hawks of South Harrison are leading 14-7 here at halftime, as both teams have made their way back out here on the field. Well, it was a good talk about WVU football. I mean, what do you think about their chances tomorrow?
I think they'll lose again tomorrow. Yeah.
Do you really?
Yeah.
Did you say that already?
Huh?
Did you say that already?
No,
because you looked
so.
kind of befuddled when I asked you that.
No, I didn't know if you wanted the prediction now or not, but might as well.
I guess we started down that road.
With
yeah.
it, right? That's what you're going. Do you want to score?
Why not? It's fun that way.
Yeah, I think so. Let's go with 34-17 NC State. And I think it's 34-10, and it's a late score to make it closer than make it appear closer than what it was.
I was going to say 35-10 NC State. That's what I was going to say.
So we're on the same page there.
Yeah.
So, which you know what that means. We'll both be wrong.
West Virginia's going to win. That's good. That's good.
This is what needs to see. You with West Virginia, you have to lower all expectations. Step one, lower the lower your expectations can be, the better it is. Of course, that's not what Mountaineer fans do. I mean, we're thinking national championship, But.
All right, let's talk about something else that I know you enjoy. Week 1 of the NFL regular season kicked off last week. Thoughts? What about your Steelers?
Not a lot of thoughts. I knew where that was going. Not a lot of thoughts. The Steelers, that was bad. I mean, that was really bad. I now, as far as on the theme of expectations, you see that opening. The schedule comes out whenever in the spring, and you see opening game first week at New England. I got to be honest, I wasn't expecting to go in there and win. So we're 0-1. I thought we'd be 0-1. Now the way we got pounded, that's disappointing. I mean, just disappointing. But one thing I know about the NFL is this. It's a long season. Super Bowls are not won in September. The playoffs are not made in September. There's always a flash-in-the-pan team that's undefeated, everyone's talking about, that turns around and doesn't even make the playoffs. I think the Steelers are better than what they looked this last week. I hate to say this. It did look like to me they missed Antonio Brown, and believe me, I don't want that to be the case. But they're going to have to figure some things out.
He's a train wreck.
Oh, he is. I mean, they're better off without him, but just from a, playmaking, they're still adjusting to that,
Yeah.
I mean, with the chemistry that him and Ben had was, if they need, they could get a 15-yard out pass with their eyes closed. I mean, and you just, that chemistry still building with the receiving core and Ben Roethlisberger. They'll be fine.
Baker Mayfield and Cleveland.
Yeah, I think it's funny. I mean, everyone, they're going to win the division. They're going to go to the Super. All this hype. Folks, let's not forget who it is. It's the Cleveland Browns, and that's what they do. So it's funny because they really flopped. Now, that being said, and I want to be funny because I think it is. Honestly, I kind of like Baker Mayfield, and I do think the Browns are going to be improved, and I think they'll be a team to be reckoned with as the season goes on. But I think the hype was too much. Come on now, it's still the Browns. But I think they're not going to be bad.
Okay, how about this one? Before we're about to kick off second half here, so we don't have a whole lot of time to talk about this. But Pittsburgh 0-1.
Yes.
Buffalo Bills 1-0.
That's true. That's true. Who do the Bills have this week?
I don't even know.
Okay. That's all right.
I don't know.
No, I like the Bills quarterback. I like Josh Allen a lot. I thought he had a good rookie season last year. I feel like they really got a steal when they got him the year. I feel like he fell to them, and I like him a lot. So we'll see if they can build off of that.
Sunday afternoon for just a small amount of time, I had the NFL Red Zone on.
Gotta love it.
Yeah, and that's what I watched.
It's mesmerizing.
Yeah.
It really is.
It's good. It's good stuff. A lot of talk about Cam Newton down there in Carolina, not happy with him and the possibilities that Will Grier may end up in that spot. That'd be fun to see.
I'd love to see it. I mean, there was a pass last night where Newton had Curtis Samuel going across the middle, and he
can't make that. He can't make that pass.
Yeah, he missed him, and it was an incompletion. It was like that far behind him, and I said Will Grier not only would have completed that pass, he would have hit him in stride, and he probably would have. It would have been a big play, if not a touchdown. So that's what Grier brings, is that accuracy. That little bit of difference between even if Newton completes that, if the guy makes a catch behind him and falls down, there's a big difference between that and leading him. Greer's that kind of accurate passer. I don't know. I mean,
I think you said it best. Yeah. It's really, really early, isn't it?
It's so early. The NFL is just it's a marathon season.
Second half set to kick off here at Gary Barnett Field. We want to thank our friends at the Good Hope Hawk's Nest for sponsoring our halftime broadcast. Don't forget, they're keeping the restaurant hours open after every South Harrison Hawks home game. The restaurant and the convenience store will both be open until 10 p.m. Also, don't forget about that special tomorrow. The Mountaineers kick off at noon. It'll be a perfect chance to stop by for the WVU Game Day Special. It includes 1 medium, 1 topping pizza, a dozen chicken wings, and 2 liters of Pepsi for $19.95. Plus, when you buy that special, you get entered into a chance to win 2 free tickets to a WVU football game. Kickoff into the hands of the Crusaders. Picked up right there at the 30 and then brought down right there at the 30 on the tackle, number 12, Preston Peck, and that's where the Crusaders will start this second half.
Good coverage that time by the Hawks, but I want something I noticed there with kickoff coverage. You want your 2 outside guys to get down the field. You want them to stay wide. You want to make sure that they turn the kickoff guy back inside. You don't want to let him get outside of you. I saw both ends pinching. I just want to mention that because at some point in this game or in the future, they're going to get a return on them to the outside if they don't adjust that.
Lines up an I formation, snap back to Collier, handoff to Boyce. Boyce runs ahead, and he's brought down by number 31, Zachary Hogsett, but not before a gain of about 5. Brings up second down and 5.
I think early in this second half is critical for both teams to see who's going to kind of establish control. I mean, really, it was the Hawks who controlled the first half for the most part with field position, with the early touchdown, with the turnovers. Who's going to gain control early in this second half?
Handoff to Bruni, gains maybe a couple, and then about 5 different Hawk players in there to bring him down, including Jacob Haddix and number 75, Trey Waller.
The Hawks have done a really nice job with any interior runs tonight by Parkersburg Catholic. I mean, they have stuffed it. They've really got next to nothing, if nothing, totally. When you talk about an inside run, where they've done their damage has been more so to the outside. We'll keep an eye on that and see if that continues.
Third down and about 3, ball at the 38-yard line. Collier under center I formation. Hands it off to Boyce, who runs ahead. He's tackled there by number 53 for the Hawks, Jason Lassamar, but Boyce able to pick up the first down.
We talked about it last year, the adjustments that were made by Parkersburg Catholic's coaching staff at halftime that really was a big difference in that contest that things turned. And we'll keep an eye on that here to see what adjustments they may make in this second half.
First and 10 from their own 42-yard line. Here come the Crusaders. Collier tosses back to Boyce, who's wrapped up by number 30, Hunter Bunch. Hunter Bunch was last week's TD Productions Player of the Game for the Hawks. Had an outstanding performance. Gain of 3 brings up second down and 7. I'm sorry, go ahead.
Yeah, you're good. He continues to do well at the defensive end position. I think he's done a nice job of making tackles and also turning things back inside, which is what you want to do as a defensive end.
Second down, and I'm going to call it 6. Collier's going to pass. Got a man open. It's a low pass. Intended receiver number 22, Logan Ayers. Covering was Landon McFadden, but the ball landed at Ayers' feet.
I couldn't tell if it was a low pass or a high pass. I really couldn't tell who he was throwing to.
Yeah, okay.
I mean, like, there was 2 receivers in the area, and I really don't know who he was throwing it to. Yeah, if it was to that guy, it was definitely at his feet. Not accurate. It wasn't accurate. It doesn't matter who he was throwing it to.
Third down and 6. Snap back. Hand off to Boyce. He's hit immediately. Multiple Hawks in there. Led by number 30, Hunter Bunch. And that brings up fourth down. And I'm assuming that Crusaders will punt it away. Is there a decision here to make?
I don't think there is. I think you punt it. I mean, it's so much time left.
And punt they will indeed. Back to punt it away is number 10, Jeb Boyce. Back for the Hawks, number 32, Jacob Haddix. Landon, I think McFadden got a hand on it. Did he get in there?
McFadden?
Yeah.
He got in. He did not get a hand on it, but he altered that for sure. I mean, he did not block it, but he caused that to be a bad punt. I mean, I tell you what, the field position tonight for South Harrison has been amazing. I mean, this is the first time they've not started in Parkersburg Catholic territory, but they're at the 49-yard line. I mean, you can't ask for anything else. That's where you do talk about, that's where an area of improvement is. You've got to take advantage of that. If you've got that kind of field position all night, you want to have more than a one touchdown lead.
South Harrison will start this time at their own 49-yard line. And as Danny pointed out, it's been great field position for the Hawks all night long. The problem, they've only been able to capitalize on 2 different occasions. I formation. Hand off to the fullback. That's Haddix. No gain.
I want to see more Robinson in the second half running the football. I just want to see that 1-2 punch of Robinson and McFadden. That the ball needs to be in one of those 2 players' hands on every play, and I think Robinson needs more chances than what he's gotten thus far. He has shown the ability to make plays, and I think if you give him more chances, he'll make even more.
Second down and 10. Again, no gain on the last play. Snap back. Hands it off to McFadden. He slips a tackle and then takes a pretty big hit, a gain of maybe 1 or 2 on the play. Brings up third down.
Very big collision right there in the hole, and McFadden was able to bounce off of it. But I think both players felt that after it was over with. So big third down here, 3rd and long. You know, I don't know how you feel about it. I don't. When they have 3rd and long, I don't feel real confident. I don't know what they're going to do. Like, what are they going to do here? I don't know. And that's something they're going to have to try to develop.
I formation. McFadden gets it, runs straight ahead. Wrapped up, brought down. He does get into Parkersburg Catholic territory, but only down to about the 45, so he needs almost 5 more to get a first down. Is there a decision here?
Not for me. I'd punt it. I mean, they controlled the first half with field position. The punter's done an excellent job of pinning them deep inside. I'd punt it.
Looks like he's going to go for it. Maybe just trying to draw him off sides. Nope, going for it. Robinson's going to run. You got your wish. He takes a big hit, bounces back, and then a second effort gets him a first down. He took a big hit, and a lot of kids would have went down, but he stayed on his feet. He literally just kind of like a pinball bounced back and just kept moving forward. So
it was fun. I mean, not just bounce back. Like, he bounced back like 2 or 3 yards. It was like he got like 3 yards. It's about to get the first down. They hit him and knock him back almost, I feel like, to the line of scrimmage. He had to start all over again, but he got it the second time too. But I like it. I like Robinson with more chances.
Hand off to McFadden. Gain of about 4 on the play. Will bring up second down.
And the more they, I'm
6.
sorry,
It's
yeah,
okay. Go ahead.
the more that they mix those in, and I think it's really been the option plays that Robinson has kept it on, that he's had his success on the ground. I think you could do some other designed quarterback runs as well, but I think you'll see things continue to open up more for McFadden the more you let Robinson have some chances.
Yeah, movement on the line. It's going to be a false start against the Hawks. That'll back them up 5. So sort of the same kind of trend. You said it in the first half. Week 3, the penalties have to disappear, but unfortunately they continue to plague the Hawks.
Yeah, surely that was discussed at halftime. I mean, listen, that was probably the most glaring issue of the first half, outside of not making the most of opportunities, but a lot of that was because they had penalties. I mean, the one drive they had 25, 30 yards in penalties on first down when they were deep in Parkersburg Catholic territory. So, yeah, they got to cut that out.
Second down and 12. Hand off to McFadden. No, Robinson keeps it. Runs straight ahead. Collier hits him right around the 36 and brings him down. Jaron limping a little bit. Gains about 5. It's going to bring up third down, and we'll call it 7.
I am liking the a little bit more balance here. I mean, you feel you see the same thing, a little bit more balance. I hope it really pays off for them here. And so that it just reinforces that's really their identity and what they need to do.
McFadden gets it. You said slippery earlier. He's definitely being slippery here in the second half. A little tongue twister happening. Another first down for the Hawks.
Slippery and shifty.
Yes.
You got to be careful saying that fast.
No
a lot of bad things can come out. But there was a good result on that play by McFadden getting the first down, and they're moving the ball. I mean, again, this is you have to look big picture here. This is an improving football team, definitely over last year. But as we're going through the season more and more, man, I tell you, a touchdown here would just be a really big thing.
It'd be a big thing. I think really bad news for the Crusaders. Handoff to Haddix, who's running hard. I think he's got a first down. I want to point out something. We talked about coming in, they were very one-dimensional with all McFadden. Not that they didn't try to get Haddix involved, because they were. But I really think that utilizing Robinson now to run, look at the benefits that it's paying with Haddix.
Absolutely. That's exactly what's happening.
First down for the Hawks from the Crusader 18. Hawks are driving. Low snap through the hands of Robinson. A flag thrown in. Haddix able to pick it up and get ahead. That was almost a disaster.
There's been a lot of bad snaps in this game tonight.
Yes.
I mean, we've talked about the punts, but Robinson's had some issues as well with snaps and just some mishandling of handoffs, and those are some things ball security wise you want to see tied up, or at least getting tied up here in Game 3.
The penalty was against the Hawks. I'm assuming a holding call. I've never seen it, but that's the assumption here.
Yes.
Yeah, it is holding. So now they're looking at first down and about 20 from the 25.
Well, it was penalties that derailed their drives in the first half. Let's hope they can overcome it here on this drive.
Toss back to McFadden. He's got some room. Gets up near the original line of scrimmage.
McFadden running over his own blockers, really.
Yes, he was.
I mean, he got right up on the back of his blocker and just kept on going, but he runs hard.
That was a gain of 10, so back to the original line of scrimmage will bring up 2nd down and 10. Let's see if the Hawks can keep this momentum rolling. Hands it off to Haddix. Haddix wrapped up in the backfield. A loss of 2 or 3 will bring up 3rd and long again.
Just nothing there, not a lot of room, just not well blocked. Haddix didn't really have much of a chance on that play. So here we go, 3rd down and long.
About 13.
Let's see what they can dial up.
4 down territory.
Absolutely.
.205 to go here in the 3rd quarter. The Hawks leading 14-7. Robinson's going to pass it into the hands of McFadden. He's going to get into the end zone. Nice play call there. Fake the handoff to Haddix. Fake the handoff to Haddix. And nice pass play.
It was very nice. Fake the handoff to Haddix. It was a swing pass out of the backfield. No one picked up McFadden. There was the ball, it was a good pass by Robinson over the outstretched arms of a defender for Parkersburg Catholic. Once McFadden caught it, everyone knew it was 6 points.
2-point conversion attempt here. Haddix will run. No good. 2-point conversion attempt is no good. So the score here at Gary Barnett Field, South Harrison 20, Parkersburg Catholic 7. 1:57 to go here in the 3rd quarter.
Richards Heating and Air Conditioning for all your heating and cooling needs. Installation and service. Phone 304-884-6400. Located in Jane Lew and serving the South Harrison area. Call Richards Heating and Air Conditioning at 304-884-6400. Visit their webpage at richardsheating.com or find them on Facebook under Richards Heating and Air Conditioning.
Mountain State Land Surveying, providing boundary surveys for residential, farm, and commercial properties, along with FEMA elevation certificates and construction layout services. Mountain State Land Surveying, call 304-476-8668 for all of your surveying needs. Again, that's Mountain State Land Surveying, 304-476-8668, a proud supporter of South Harrison High School. Hawks leading 20-7 here at Gary Barnett Field in this home opener for the Hawks. And, Danny, they've done a lot of different things offensively tonight.
So exactly what they needed to do here tonight. They've done it. And I tell you, the second half, this is how you draw it up. I mean, they got a stop on defense and then a fairly long, time-consuming drive. We're sitting here at the end of the 3rd quarter.
Zane Snyder, the freshman, kicks it off. It's a low kick. Parkersburg Catholic falls on top of it on their own 37. And, the time obviously not on the Crusaders' side, but the way they play offensively, it's not really conducive, for a comeback.
Now, what it looks like to me, what they want to do after watching them for almost 3 quarters, I mean, they want to kind of pound it inside, and then set you up for an outside play or maybe set you up for play action. I mean, they're not overly aggressive, but they will try to set you up. But that takes time.
Boyce at quarterback. Collier's out to the right. Just a direct snap back to Boyce. He runs ahead. He's got some room.
Hold.
It's going to come back. McFadden is able to catch up with him all the way down in South Harrison territory by the 25. But I think, Danny, you're correct. It's going to be a holding call.
Yeah, holding right where he broke out into the open, so it was a critical play. The official right there to make the phone call. I was going to say, But he did make the call for the penalty. Here at South Harrison, unfortunately, we do not parachute our flags or our officials or game balls or any of those things in. But
we haven't yet. Although we could go on top of the press box and
we get one of those little toys with the like a little figurine, and you put the little parachute on their back, and you roll it up, and then you throw it out, and it kind of comes down. I wonder if that would work.
I don't know.
Like if we threw it from way up on top here.
We could.
I hope people got a mental picture of that. If they didn't, they're like, I have no idea what in the world he's talking about, which is probably the case with 75% of the things that I say.
So the holding call is going to bring that long run by Boyce all the way back. We talked about fatigue being a factor. I'm starting to see it on the Crusader side.
Yeah, that's a good point.
So it'll be first down and 12 from their own 35-yard line. I formation. Collier is back under center. Hands it off to Bruni. Bruni hasn't had a tremendous amount of success. He's going to gain maybe 3 or 4 there this time. Just a big, strong kid. Ground and pound for sure.
Be interesting to know. I almost feel like the way this has happened with the defense is maybe that the fullback for Parkersburg Catholic is who they're keying off of. Maybe they've said, we're going to take him away because he's really had no room. And it does seem like Parkersburg Catholic really wants to try to do that, get that established, and they haven't been able to.
Collier tosses back to Boyce. Boyce trying to find some room. None to be found as number 60 for the Hawks, Levi Swiger, and number 10, Jaron Robinson, able to bring him down. Third down.
I think back to last season and the tackling issues that we talked about week in and week out, and just this is a completely different defense when you compare it to last season.
Oh,
as far
absolutely.
As their ability
Tackling,
to tackle.
yes,
yeah.
Absolutely. Under 30 to go here in the third quarter. It's a reverse. He's got some room, trying to turn the corner. He's got a first down, and he's going to be knocked out of bounds there by number 25, Caden Ryan. But I'm pretty certain he was able to get first down yardage. We'll wait and see where the official spot is. And, yep, they're moving him.
Well executed play. Good play call by Parkersburg Catholic. South Harrison caught off guard by it, a reverse. And they had it, like I say, it was just well executed. They had blockers out in front, able to get the first down. It was an important first down. I think Parkersburg Catholic really needed that to try to stay in this game. They did not want to have to give the ball back over to the Hawks heading into the fourth quarter.
Collier gets the snap, hands it off to Bruni. Bruni runs straight ahead. Gains maybe 3 or 4. Third quarter is going to expire here, and the Hawks are going to be leading through 3, 20-7. Home opener here at Gary Barnett Field has found the Hawks leading through 3. And you can hear the crowd fired up here.
What was that?
I don't know.
Can you please explain to me what just happened?
You couldn't just leave it alone, could
No,
you?
I surely everyone heard that at home, on their phones, wherever they're at. I'm not even going to comment there. Let's just say this. The Hawk fans are fired up,
yes.
And they should be.
Which is what I said initially.
You did, but that was another level. But I'm going to leave that alone. That was like, see you. But
don't blame it on me. Did you just almost?
No, you started it back.
How did I start it?
I don't know, because you paused and gave me a second. All you got to do is give me a second, and I'll say something I shouldn't. No, they're fired up. They should be. It's been a fun night here at Gary Barnett Field. Good to get back here. The crowd is having, some of them, the time of their lives, making noises I've never heard before in my life. But good to see. Good to see. Here we go, fourth quarter. See if we can get a win.
Collier under center. Tosses it back to Boyce. He's got some room to the outside. Takes a hit and then gang tackled by the Hawks. All that running, and he gained maybe 3. It's going to be third down.
You can tell, though, that Boyce is an explosive runner. I mean, you could see it, and they've done a good job of bottling him up for the most part tonight. But, I mean, it is scary to see him run because, I mean, he's capable on any of these plays to take it to the house. That's why I think they're still in striking distance here because on any given play he could take it.
Third down and 3. Collier hands it off to Boyce. Near a first down.
Oh.
Ball came loose, but they blew it dead. And it looks like number 10, Jaron Robinson, was in there on the tackle. See where they spot the football. If I was a betting man, they're going to measure.
I hope they measure.
They are.
Here we go.
All right. I never get
You've never missed.
Oh, now he's.
Oh.
They moved the chains.
I think.
Well, for the record, I was going to say first down.
Yes.
Thank you.
And you have never missed.
I have never missed.
See?
Boyce, looked like a little miscommunication there. Did you see that a little bit?
I actually had my head turned. I was looking at you.
Okay.
Only because I was talking to you. It's not, you know.
All right. Gain of a yard brings up second down and 9. You know, I talked about how Parkersburg Catholic's offense wasn't really conducive for a comeback. They're down 2 scores, and they really need to do something.
They're going to need Boyce to break a run because offensively their play calling doesn't really set itself up. It is.
There it is. Big play. Toss back to Boyce. He's got a man wide open. It's caught. It'll be a Parkersburg Catholic touchdown. And everything I just said about being explosive, you can throw that away because toss back to Boyce. He passes up the field to number 2, wide open Nick Stricker, and it's a Parkersburg Catholic touchdown. Wow.
Great play call. I mean, it worked perfectly, and I think what they did to South Harrison's defense, they did the same thing to us. I mean, they definitely had us feeling like very, very methodical. We're going to run the football. We're going to see what we're going to do.
It was all a setup.
They drew us in, and then there you go with the big play. So, massive play. Great play call by the Park Catholic coaching staff.
Extra point attempt is up and through, so the score now is going to get interesting here, Danny. It's going to be 20-14, so they can tie it with a touchdown and win it with an extra point.
It's amazing, isn't it, how one play changed the entire complexion of this ball game? Because it's literally just coming out of your mouth like, hey, man, they got to do something here because time's ticking away. Just in one play, they were able to change the complexion. Because now I think the pressure shifts kind of back to the Hawks, don't you think? I mean, they need to do something with this football right now. You certainly don't want to give it right back over to Park Catholic.
Coach Hathaway obviously not very happy giving his players the what for down there. And I could understand.
What's that? Did you ask me if that was a saying?
No, I didn't.
I can't hear as well. Listen, folks, you got to understand how loud the crowd is here tonight. It's hard for us to hear in the booth. They're fired up.
Wow. Yeah, speaking of wow.
Yes.
I recently got wrote up in a volleyball game for saying wow.
Are you serious?
Absolutely.
We got to hear that.
Well, we were winning 23-0 in one of the sets, and I was trying to get some of my younger players in. and I realized, so I said substitution. I realized that I could not make that substitution at that time, and I'll pick it back up in a second. I'm expecting an onside kick here, and I don't get it. Instead, Bruni just kicks it out of bounds. Anyway, so it's 23-0. I'm trying to get my younger players in, so I'm trying to make a substitution. So I say substitution, but it was out of rotation, so I couldn't do it. And so I looked at the down official, and I said, my fault, my fault, my fault. She blows the whistle and pulls out a yellow card for delay of game, which I thought was a little excessive. And I don't know if she was mad because we were up 23. I don't know what you do about that. I mean, Kylie Saltis served 24 straight points, had 20 aces.
Wow.
Right, that's what I said.
Yeah.
So, unbeknownst to me, well, I guess, when she blew her whistle and gave me the yellow card, it angered me a little bit.
Yes.
So I said to her, I would like to add a comment to your yellow card. Handoff to number 32, Jacob Haddix runs ahead, gain of about 6. I said, I would like to add a comment to your yellow card. Wow. That's all I said.
And so that was a problem.
The next morning, I'm told I was written up.
So what happens when you get written up?
Oh. I was told I was written up.
Okay. Stiff consequences.
It wasn't. It was just a delay of game. It wasn't like I was standing on a chair. 2nd down and 3. Not that I've ever done that. Handoff to Haddix. Runs straight ahead. He's got a first down and breaks loose out of the pile. Going to be wrestled down inside the Parkersburg Catholic 25-yard line. The Hawks offensively really are moving now.
It's getting so much better, and really good answer to the drive, the touchdown drive on the big play by Parkersburg Catholic. The Hawks come right back here with 2 quick first downs, nice runs, and kind of regain control here offensively.
We do have an injury down there on the field. Just a reminder, Hawks Nest and Good Hope keeping their kitchen and convenience store open until 10 p.m. tonight. Stop by and see them. They will be having their kitchen and convenience store open every home football game. And if you're not able to stop in tonight, stop in tomorrow. They have a WVU game day special, 1 medium, 1 topping pizza, 12 chicken wings, and 2 2-liters of Pepsi for $19.95. That purchase will get you entered into an opportunity to win 2 free tickets to a WVU football game. So stop in and see them. Injury on the field. We'll take a quick timeout. Be right back. Mountain State Land Surveying, providing boundary surveys for residential, farm, and commercial properties, along with FEMA elevation certificates and construction layout services. Mountain State Land Surveying, call 304-476-8668 for all of your surveying needs. Again, that's Mountain State Land Surveying, 304-476-8668, a proud supporter of South Harrison High School. 20-14, the Hawks are driving here in the fourth quarter, 9:04 to go. Injured player down there was senior offensive lineman, number 60, Levi Swiger. He makes it off the field there. It looks like maybe it might just be a cramp. 1st and 10. Snap back to Robinson. Hand off to Haddix. Haddix just running hard. Looks like a different football player out there, doesn't he?
Haddix really has responded here in the second half with some very nice carries, and the more he's gotten some room, you could see the confidence level in his running. I feel like at times in the past he's run very tentatively, but he's had a couple nice runs here, and you're going to see his confidence going up. At that time, he ran really hard, able to run over somebody.
2nd down and 6. Again, fakes the handoff to Haddix. Robinson's going to run. Gains a couple. Right now, you just want to take care of the football, right?
Protect the football and keep that clock running, and then, of course, you want to cap it off with at least 6 points on the board.
7:52 to go and counting. 3rd down and 3. McFadden makes his way from the sideline back onto the field for this 3rd down attempt. Milking that clock. Hand off to McFadden. Straight ahead, has a 1st down, still on his feet, down inside the 10 to the 8. McFadden also running hard. Just looks like, honestly, you mentioned confidence with Jacob Haddix, but you're really starting to see it flow through the rest of the team as well.
Agreed. I think back to the beginning when there were some different formations, and I felt like they looked a little tentative or cautious. They look totally different right now. I mean, It's like the opposite. Their body language right now is very determined, very, very determined, a lot of confidence, and that's good. That's what you want to see.
You gotta feel like that if South Harrison is able to punch it into the end zone, it could be the nail in the coffin for the Crusaders.
Definitely, you feel pretty confident at that point.
McFadden running hard straight ahead and into the end zone for another South Harrison touchdown. 26-14 awaiting the extra point or 2-point conversion.
And it really, the 2-point conversion becomes critical here. I mean, it's, that way you get the 2 touchdown and the 2-point conversions. I mean, obviously Parkersburg Catholic has been able to kick the extra points. You don't want to be sitting there where they just have to kick the extra point to get the win where we were sitting a minute ago. So this is big.
6:53 to go in the contest. 2-point conversion attempt. Fakes the handoff to McFadden. He'll pass it. It's caught into the end zone there. Pass to number 34, Nicholas Hess, the senior. Nick able to haul it in. 28-14 now. And South Harrison's just got to cover well, and they'll be just fine.
Yeah. Gotta be feeling really good right now. If you're the Hawks and the coaching staff, these fans right now feeling confident, kind of celebrating. Obviously, there's enough time left still that Parkersburg Catholic would have an opportunity to make a run here. I mean, it's not over by any means, but definitely the Hawks in control. And if they can just take care of their own business, then they'll be able to be okay.
(28-14).
Something the Hawks have done on the kickoffs. I think it's been strategic, kind of just short, little bloop kickoffs, trying to kick it in the middle. What I'd really like to see them do is angle this a little bit. Rather than going right down the middle, same thing, same kind of kick, but angle it over here to the side. Try to get it in this little gap, back there. Because I think if they keep doing that, one of these times they're going to get it.
The freshman Zane Snyder out there to kick it away. Is that what you were looking for?
Kind of.
The Hawks covered it very, very well. The return man there, number 15, Ethan Lang, really with not a whole lot of room. Be 1st down and 10 for the Crusaders from their own 36-yard line. Nothing.
I just can't.
Shotgun formation. Collier gets the snap. Looks up the field. He gets hit as he throws. Intercepted by number 32, Jacob Haddix. He's still on his feet. Running ahead. He may get it all the way back down the field. He does not. Huge play by the sophomore, Jacob Haddix. Big time.
Big interception, and a great return after that, all the way deep into Parkersburg Catholic territory. And I tell you what, a touchdown here would be the nail in the coffin without a doubt. Great job, Haddix. Man, he's been big in the second half.
First and 10 from the 28. Now it's just a matter of running that clock out. And off to McFadden, running straight ahead. Or punch another one in, and he's going to into the end zone for another touchdown, and a flag is thrown late.
2 flags. Actually, they had one in the backfield. Then they threw another one late. You're right. After he had already broken free for the touchdown, they threw a flag.
Holding against the Hawks. Well, that's disappointing.
It is. But man, great job. The Hawks really just have played so much better, even in the second half. And just as they've kind of got their footing, so to speak, kind of established themselves, really getting some good traction and looking good, continuing to improve. That has been the theme. That's what we've seen.
The officials blew their whistle, and they're just waving at each other, but I'm not certain what for. First and 18 after the penalty. Handoff to Haddix. Got some room, running hard. Flag is thrown in.
They took the ball away.
They did. Boyce took it away. He's going to be tackled by number 10, Jaron Robinson. It was a hard collision there. What is the flag, Danny?
I think it's going to be holding, but they can decline that.
Looks like they're bringing the offense. Parkersburg Catholic looks to be bringing the offense back on the field, and Jacob Haddix looks to be shaken up a little bit. Holding call, it was indeed, and declined as well. Enough time on the clock?
Yeah. Oh, yeah. I mean, they have their timeouts. They showed they could score quickly with the trick play on the pass. Honestly, I'm going to tell you something right now. Big time play there by Jaron Robinson to make that tackle, because I thought Boyce might go to the end zone. It changes everything at that point.
I tell you what I liked about that tackle is it was a very hard collision. Boyce was running very hard, but he held on.
Yeah, he did. Yep.
Boyce behind center. He's got 5 receivers. Looking to pass. He does up the field. Misses Bruni. Covering there, number 10, Jaron Robinson. 6 minutes to go. 28-14 is the score. The Hawks are leading.
And it looked like there for a minute we were going to just be able to kind of comfortably cruise in here and enjoy the rest of this. That fumble really changes things and kind of puts you back on edge a little bit here. But this Hawk defense has played very well for the most part tonight. Let's see them get another stop here.
Boyce will pass. Got a man open. He drops it. That's lying, and he paid for it. McFadden put a shot on him.
Tough shot there by McFadden late. If you're hearing a lot of ruckus, whatever in the background, there is a lot. Both fan bases very emotional about that last play. The pass was dropped at the last second by the receiver. McFadden came up and just laid a shot on the receiver after the ball was out. But I really feel like it was within a reasonable time frame. Parkersburg Catholic felt different. South Harrison fans loved it, especially the guy right here in front of us. He's fired up.
Parkersburg Catholic takes a timeout. .5:47 to go here in the fourth quarter.
There's so many things. I'd love to know what all people can hear. If people can hear that, we should comment on it. There's been some noises come out of this crowd tonight that I've never heard before in my life. From human or beast, either one. Like it's otherworldly. I've never
You've got
never
to
heard.
stop.
I don't even know how to describe it. That's why there's been silence. I'm literally trying to describe, and there's not words. But it is enthusiasm, that I will say.
Well, I can't do it. Snap back to Collier. He's got a man open. He passes deep. And there's a flag. I wonder how this is going to go. I thought that was good coverage.
I did too. I thought everybody was going for the ball. I don't see any kind of pass interference. Did the kid catch it? I mean,
no, he dropped it. I thought number 21 for the Hawks, Noah Dyer, did a great job on coverage. They called pass interference against the Hawks. That was not a good call. I'm sorry.
That was terrible. I mean, that's like that is terrible. And I don't have a problem criticizing the officials. I really don't. But, I don't even feel like that was really, really bad. I mean, there was 2 Hawk defenders, the receiver for Parkersburg Catholic. They all just went up for the ball, and it was incomplete.
And, the Crusaders are now advancing the ball and moving the chains while the clock is stopped.
Right. It's an impactful call and a bad one.
Collier in shotgun, 3 receivers. Snap back. He's going to pass. Steps into it. Launches it up the field. He's going to be picked off for the second time by Landon McFadden. And Landon McFadden stays on his feet. Down the sideline. Over the 45. Still on his feet with an inspired run is Landon McFadden. And Collier has to bring him down as McFadden nears midfield. Another big play by Landon McFadden.
They threw a flag. I don't know.
They did. Let's see what happens here. This place is liable to come unglued.
It almost did right there. People were pumped. I like it.
Coach
Here's what I like. I mean, McFadden.
Personal foul.
No.
Against the Hawks.
We do keep the ball, though. What I like there is McFadden intercepts that ball, and you think, man, he could take us to the house. Then it looks like he's going to just kind of casually run out of bounds, but he wasn't. This his mentality is not. He was more trying to set them up. All of a sudden, he turned it up the field, and I tell you, it's excitement when he has the ball in his hands. His second interception tonight.
I'm sorry. Well, they did retain the football after the Landon McFadden interception, and now it's, again, just a matter of running the clock down.
You just want to protect the football. Protect it. You got 5 minutes. There's still enough time if you would turn it over. Some crazy things happen, but, let's just get some first downs here, control the clock, and notch that first W.
Out of the pistol. Robinson fakes the handoff, and he's going to run it himself. Gains maybe 3 or 4 on the play, brings up second down.
Do you feel like, would you say that they've established an identity offensively?
So. I think so. And I think it's exactly what you were talking about last week, honestly. I thought that, you were correct, and you continue to say, listen, you've got to be more than one-dimensional. And not that they were not trying, but you really felt the answer was Jaron Robinson, and I think that's proven to be true tonight.
He's done a very nice job here tonight.
Wow, hard snap right to almost the face mask of Jaron Robinson. He bobbles it. They're calling a false start against the Hawks. That'll back him up 5.
I don't think he was ready for the snap is what happened. I think only the center was ready for the play to start. Nobody else really moved, and he snapped it. You'll take the penalty there to keep the ball. Just got to protect it, man. Just got to protect it. Get 2 or 3 first downs. Should be in good shape.
Another flag. False start against the Hawks, getting, still 4 minutes and 10 seconds to play in this game.
Going in the wrong direction.
Absolutely. So it's 2nd down and 15 now. Robinson standing at his own 3.
There he goes. Oh.
Man, he had 1 tackle to beat. He wasn't able to do it. It's going to bring up 3rd down and short. Parkersburg Catholic takes the timeout.
It's a big play for them, the 3rd down, trying to get a stop here and get the ball back. I mean, honestly, they have to. I mean, if they're going to have any chance, they've got to get the stop here and force the punt, get a quick score, maybe an onside kick. I think a 1st down here. Not that they can run the clock out, but it just another set of downs really helps out.
3:41 to go here. 28-14. The Hawks came in to tonight's game having scored 12 points combined. They've put up 28 tonight.
Again, you said it earlier, and I think it's worth repeating. You felt that those first 2 games, because we survived them and came out healthy, really it prepared us for this, and I agree. This is not a bad football team in Parkersburg Catholic. It's just we've played 2 really good football teams, and I think it did make us, I'm going to use the term battle-tested, and it's helped us to play really, really well tonight. And beat, if we're going to hold on here, a good quality win here tonight.
Things definitely appear to be going in the right direction for the Hawks. Hand off to McFadden. And there's a flag. I think that's going to be a personal foul against Parkersburg Catholic.
I thought they were going to call hold.
They did. I thought I saw a face mask. And the Hawks on the field thought the same thing because they were just throwing their arms up. That's what I thought I saw was a face mask.
Big play there for Parkersburg Catholic. I mean, they'll still be 3rd. No, they're going to decline it. And that's what you should do.
Absolutely.
Because he tackled it. Yeah. They're going to decline it. It's going to be 4th and 3. They're going to get the ball back here.
So then if you're Parkersburg Catholic, it's a quick score, try to get an onside kick, see if you can make something happen.
Most likely, yeah.
South Harrison will take a timeout. Coach Underwood not taking any chances here.
I'm going to tell you what I do right now if I'm Parkersburg Catholic. I take complete advantage of the fact that they just took a timeout. And I do want to keep someone back here to return it, but I'm putting 10 guys up, and I'm coming after that. I am coming hard after this punt because they've had bad snaps all night.
Yep.
It's been bouncing around. The punter for South Harris has done a great job to handle it, but who knows when he's not, it's slower. I mean, a punt block here, and you get a lot of things can happen. So I think if I'm Parkersburg Catholic, if you have it in your arsenal, a punt block, if you've designed some ways to come after it, even if you didn't, just tell them, listen, get after this. Let's get a block. All out. Go all out at it.
See Coach Hathaway taking advantage of the timeout as well. He's coaching up his defense even before they get rid of the football, just preparing them.
It doesn't look like they're going to do it, but I'm telling you, I'd put 10 guys up on that line of scrimmage and come
I don't know.
it.
They're showing it. They're just not showing it yet. It's going to happen. There they go. No, they didn't. Boyce is dangerous. Stiff arms. Still on his feet. Down to the 30. Going to be knocked out of bounds. Pushing him out of bounds there is number 60 for the Hawks, Levi Swiger. And 3:15 to go. Decent return. I think, much like the Hawks, you want the ball in McFadden's hands. I think if you're the Crusaders, you want it in Boyce's hands.
No question, and I think there's still enough time here for them to make something happen. Honestly, I feel like Boyce, they had the return set up on the other side, and he came to this side. And had he gone over there, it could have been a problem. He still had a good return, but it looked like to me they had the blocker set up over there.
All right, Boyce is at quarterback with 5 receivers. Trips to his right, to his left. Snap back. Boyce rolls out of the pocket, throws it up the field. He's got a man. That's Bruni. Bruni slips the tackle, stays on his feet. He's got a first down. Still on his feet, running hard. He's going to get into the end zone. And just like that, Parkersburg Catholic's into the end zone. Interesting.
Just a simple out pattern. He was able to break that initial tackle or slide out of it. One of the Hawk defenders fell down, truthfully, down the field, which helped, and then he had a head of steam. And I knew once he had a head of steam, nobody was going to tackle him. That's a big boy. He had a chance. Once he gets running like that, he was able to get in the end zone. And that's where are they going for 2? No, they're going to kick it. That's where that extra point from before comes into play big.
Extra point attempt is up. And it's good. So the score here now, 28-21.
Now, I know you talked about an onside kick, but honestly, with 3 minutes to go and I think they have all 3 timeouts. Have they taken any timeouts?
Parkersburg Catholic took one, if you recall.
So they got 2 timeouts. I think I kick it away. I really do. I think I kick it away. Now, don't kick it out of bounds like they have. They kick it in the field, kick it down here, and
keep it away from McFadden.
Keep it away from McFadden, and use your timeouts. I mean, the Hawks are not, they're most likely going to play conservatively. You got to figure that. I mean, that's their game plan. There's not like they're doing a bunch of crazy stuff, so they're going to be conservative. I think you'd have a chance to get the ball back if you're Parkersburg Catholic. We'll see what they elect to do here.
Does the fact of McFadden being on the field, does that prevent them from kicking the ball in play?
I mean, that may deter them some. I mean, that's a good point. I mean, it's very possible they're like, we're afraid if we put it out there, he's going to get it. But, same thing I said for South Harrison, like kind of getting it like past the first line in around that second level out to the side.
Interesting here. Take a look.
Yeah.
South Harrison, I think, is lining up. They got their hands team up here, expecting an onside kick. McFadden actually lined up in the middle of the field.
So this is where I think this is a perfect time to bloop it over their head, over the front line's head. Let it run around down there.
Inexperienced return guys back
You'll
deep.
have 2 chances. You might get it. If not, you can just use your timeouts.
Well, they did the onside kick, but it did not go 10 yards. And so that's where the Hawks will start now at the Parkersburg Catholic 48.
That's a break for the Hawks. I really think.
Man,
they didn't even go. It didn't go anywhere near 10 yards. You got to be very disappointed if you're a Parkersburg Catholic that lead. If you're going to call that, you at least want to have a chance at the ball.
Let me bring up something here. A 1-9 team last year, haven't got their first win of the season. You got to have focus here.
Oh, yeah.
Nerves and anxiety can't get to you. You got to take care of the football. Thank God there's some experience in the backfield named McFadden. He gets it. Runs straight ahead and tackled immediately. Gains maybe a yard.
Great call there, though. You talk about the experience of McFadden, and I don't know if you were watching close enough, but he had both hands on the football.
He did.
He had going up into the line. That young man knows, like right now, if we can just hold on to the ball, maybe get a first down or two, we're going to be just fine.
Parkersburg Catholic takes a timeout, and Danny, we talked about it earlier and really throughout the game about the lack of explosiveness from Parkersburg Catholic. I don't feel that way now, right? I mean, they have quick scoreability.
With Boyce, they definitely do, and then they showed the ability to trick play to be able to score quick. I mean, granted, I think South Harrison's probably a little bit more awake to that if they would get the ball back. But, no, Boyce has the ability, whether it's throwing it or running it. You just don't want to give the ball back. That's South Harrison right now. You want to protect the ball, get a couple first downs, make them use their timeouts, get out of here with a win.
South Harrison will face 2nd down and 8, 2:54 remaining. By our calculations, Parkersburg Catholic has 1 timeout remaining, so they can stop it again after this play if they're able to prevent first down yardage. Hand off to McFadden. No, it's a fake. Robinson's going to get tackled way behind the line of scrimmage, and that is not good for the Hawks. And they do not call a timeout. Huge loss on the play. Going to bring it back now to about a 3rd down and 14. Parkersburg Catholic did not call a timeout. Do you like that?
I think they're just trying to save it for after this play. I mean, I think there's still plenty of time on the clock.
2:22 remaining. Here come the Hawks, going to try to convert here. Are you conservative here?
Yes.
Toss back to McFadden. Boyce all over him. He slips the tackle. There's a flag thrown in late. Have to see what that call is.
Most likely it's a hold, and then they'll decline it. They're going to have to punt the football. And the clock stops on the penalty, at least temporarily.
Officials discussing it. He's waving the flag off.
Okay.
Interesting. But it was still a huge loss, so now it's going to be like 4th down and about 18. The Hawks will be
so he's
at their
saving
own
the timeout still.
44-yard line. They're going to get it back with about a minute and a half to go.
I think he's going to let the play clock run down and then call timeout. Underwood is.
Takes a timeout with 1 second remaining on the play clock. 1:36 to go in the contest. The score 28-21, South Harrison on top, but they will be punting as soon as we come back from this break. Stay tuned.
Richards Heating and Air Conditioning for all your heating and cooling needs. Installation and service. Phone 304-884-6400. Located in Jane Lew and serving the South Harrison area. Call Richards Heating and Air Conditioning at 304-884-6400. Visit their webpage at richardsheating.com or find them on Facebook under Richards Heating and Air Conditioning.
Mountain State Land Surveying, providing boundary surveys for residential, farm, and commercial properties, along with FEMA elevation certificates and construction layout services. Mountain State Land Surveying, call 304-476-8668 for all of your surveying needs. Again, that's Mountain State Land Surveying, 304-476-8668, a proud supporter of South Harrison High School. Here we go, 1:36 remaining in this contest. South Harrison's going to punt it away. Thomas Check out there for the Hawks to punt. 28-21, the Hawks on top. It's a good snap. Thomas Check punts. It's a good punt. Boyce back to get it deep. He's got it. He outruns McFadden, takes a hit, and he's brought down over the 30 at about the 32-yard line. So Parkersburg Catholic is going to have 1 minute and 33 seconds to punch it into the end zone with a chance to either A, get an extra point to tie the football game, or B, punch it in with a 2-point conversion to win. Let's see if they can move the football down the field, Danny.
Big moment for this Hawk team. They are young. They're inexperienced. Haven't won a lot of games. This could be big for them to win. You got to learn how to win. If they can get off the field here and get a stop, it's win number 1 on the season.
Boyce rolls out, trying to get out of the pocket. He's being chased. Hunter Bunch is in there with the help of number 52, Christopher Stanley for the Hawks. And the clock's still running, loss of 3, 1:17 to go. Maybe they're out of timeouts.
He has to be out, yeah.
4 receivers. Throws it out through the hands of Lang. You know, Lang took a big hit earlier, and I think that helped cause that incompletion.
That's
right there.
exactly what I was going to say. Is Lang dropped that pass when McFadden hit him last time. Like that was caused by that. I agree with you. Although it may help him, really, the clock stops.
3rd down and 13, 1:02 remaining. Ball back at the Crusader 29-yard line. Boyce gets the snap, looks up the field, being chased, gets out of the pocket, throws it up the field. He's got a man open. It's Bruni. Bruni steps out of bounds wisely as it stops the clock. 55 seconds remaining, but he's going to need about a yard for a first down.
Yeah, that's the only issue is he stopped. If he could have turned and got 2 yards and then out of bounds, it would be perfect. But it's hard. It's hard to know where you're at on the field in that situation.
Parkersburg Catholic's hopes are on the line right here. If there's any chance to get into the end zone to tie this football game or win it, it is now. 4th down and 2. Snap back to Boyce. Boyce looks up. He's going to run. He's got some room. He throws it up ahead. It's caught. Bruni catches it and gets out of bounds near midfield. 49 seconds remaining. Clock is stopped once again. What do you think about this strategy?
I mean, it's work. I mean, they're utilizing the clock, getting yards and first downs. There's still 49 seconds. I tell you, I mean, it has me nervous. I mean, I think Boyce has the ability to make this happen, whether it's with his feet or with his arm.
Snap back to Boyce. 47 seconds. Takes a hit. Goes down. He's got to get up quickly. On the sack there. Big play is number 60, Levi Swiger. 2nd down and about 15. Clock running at 30 seconds. If you're the Parkersburg Crusaders and they're just kind of jogging back to the line of scrimmage, snap back. Boyce is going to pass. He's got a man. He's going long. It's caught and dropped. Wait. He's calling it complete and a fumble recovery inside the 10-yard line. Parkersburg Catholic and Coach Hathaway is going absolutely crazy. What kind of call is this? That's my question here at Gary Barnett Field. Unbelievable.
We're down at
15 seconds left. Boyce, the official, what kind of call was that? Snap back to Boyce. Looks, he throws it into the end zone over the head of his intended receiver. Everyone on edge here in Gary Barnett Field. The intended receiver, Nick Stryker. Danny, unwrap that. What the heck?
Well, you said it. They called it a completed pass and a fumble recovered by Parkersburg Catholic. It looked like an incomplete pass to me. Wow, that was bad. They're
wanting the game clock reset. It's down to 3 seconds.
They're wanting it at 6, I think. And I think they're right. I looked up.
They
and it was
are
5.
right, but I'll tell you that critical mistake gave the coaching staff at Parkersburg Catholic an opportunity to huddle those guys up on the sideline.
True.
Boyce in shotgun, potentially the final play of the game. Throws it into the end zone. 2 seconds ran off the clock there. It's not going to matter whether it's 1 second or 3 at this point. Parkersburg Catholic is going to get one more opportunity to put the ball into the end zone.
This
wow,
is it.
What a nail-biter here
is.
in Lost Creek.
No doubt. It's turned out to be exciting, but probably not the kind of excitement we want.
Snap back to Boyce. Game clock has expired. He's still on his feet. He's going to get wrapped up by number 60. Levi Swiger brings him down, and the Hawks are going to get win number 1 on the season here in the home opener at Gary Barnett Field.
Great job by South Harrison on that drive, really, to get sacks. They were able to finish the game off with it. The crowd on their feet. Super exciting. Great job by the South Harrison team. Win number 1.
Wow. It's going to take me a minute or two to unwrap all this. Wow.
That was fun, though, right?
Yeah, it was one of the more entertaining games. I'll tell you the game that comes to mind for me was the South Harrison Liberty game.
Yeah.
That came down to a field goal. You remember that?
Oh, yeah.
And,
yeah.
boy, what a game that was. This game, you know, if there was a such thing as high school instant classics, this would be it.
Yeah, it really turned out. It really got exciting there at the end. Nerve-wracking for South Harrison fans, but we were able to hold on there and get the win. Great job by this young team.
Crowd all fired up. This is one of those milestone wins, right? If you're Coach Underwood, it's an opportunity to get a big win. I mean, a lot of pressure, a lot of anxiety in this game situation, and it's a big win for the program.
I think so. I mean, in year 2, you got to see some improvement. Listen, I mean, if they dropped this one late, it would have been really a devastating loss. Able to get the win. Again, I think it's a quality win. They survived those first 2 games, and we said it, it's manageable going down. This kind of win, this kind of atmosphere can propel you down the line, and we can see some really good things happen as the season progresses.
Get the win next week. You get the week off, chance to get healthy, fix things you've seen. Wow. I mean, but let's go back to that one play. I mean, did he get the receiver?
Yeah.
Did he get possession of the ball?
I didn't think so, no.
Wow, they said he received it and then fumbled it, and then Parkersburg Catholic fell on top of it.
I just don't know how there was time for all, because it looked like to me he caught, like he was falling backwards as the ball was coming to him. I don't know how you catch it and fumble it that quickly. You know, that's what's crazy. You know, we're so used to on television, and you can see the replays, and they can that doesn't happen here. I mean, like, you can blow a call like that, and I think they did blow it. Thankfully, it didn't affect the outcome of the game, but that was bad. That was a bad call.
Good win for the Hawks. You know, Danny, we talked about it. Getting better. Better. I think this is a big win.
I agree. I mean, how did you feel coming in? I mean, I can't say I was super confident that we would win tonight. I mean, I felt like it would be, a better opportunity to get a good barometer of where the team was at. But, I feel happy, pleasantly surprised. I don't know if surprise is maybe not the right word, but, like, really happy to see them get this win. I think it's a big win for them.
I'll tell you, a lot of people are still here.
Yes.
Kind of hanging out, and this is a good thing for South Harrison football. I mean, really think about it, because last year living through the 1-9 season, and this team just breathed some life back into the football community here, I think.
That's right. That's a very good point. It's true. And honestly, I mean, it was a really good crowd here tonight. I mean, as I looked out, honestly, all the way down, it was full. Everyone stayed to the end. Everyone on their feet at the end. Just that's a really good point. It is something that, because this is a football community. They get excited about it, and that was lost a little bit last season with the lack of success. So good to see everybody out tonight, and then I think the team delivered.
This guy down here is really enjoying this song.
I want to.
Show me down here, to your left, a little more. You don't. He's like,
oh, now I see it. He's celebrating. That's what the song says to do.
Please stop.
I want to sing so bad.
You've said that 2 weeks in a row.
If only they could see at home, right?
Yeah, unfortunately, I have to. All right, so we're going to take our final break of the evening, and I just want to thank our sponsors, Richards Heating and Air Conditioning, Mountain State Land Surveying, and also Good Hope Hawks Nest, who, although game time has went past the 10 o'clock hour to get there this evening, don't forget to stop by tomorrow for their WVU game day special. And again, that's 1 medium, 1 topping pizza, a dozen chicken wings, and 2 liters of Pepsi for $19.95. Plus, you get entered into a drawing for 2 free tickets to a WVU football game. Take our final break. When we come back, Danny and I will announce this week's player of the game.
Richards Heating and Air Conditioning for all your heating and cooling needs. Installation and service. Phone 304-884-6400. Located in Jane Lew and serving the South Harrison area. Call Richards Heating and Air Conditioning at 304-884-6400. Visit their webpage at richardsheating.com or find them on Facebook under Richards Heating and Air Conditioning.
Mountain State Land Surveying, providing boundary surveys for residential, farm, and commercial properties, along with FEMA elevation certificates and construction layout services. Mountain State Land Surveying, call 304-476-8668 for all of your surveying needs. Again, that's Mountain State Land Surveying, 304-476-8668, a proud supporter of South Harrison High School. Well, we're here at Gary Barnett Field where the Hawks have survived a ferocious comeback attempt by the Parkersburg Catholic Crusaders to hold on for a 28-21 win. Wow. Place is still packed.
It is. I mean, they don't want to go home. They don't want to leave. They're still celebrating good times here at Gary Barnett Field, but it was a fun game. It was good to get back home here. And really good to see a win and an exciting win. And, I think it's a quality win.
Well, without further ado, we are going to announce our players of the game for both football teams. Danny, I'll give you the honors of picking for Parkersburg Catholic.
I think it's a pretty obvious choice. I'm going with none other than Jebediah Boyce, good old Jeb Boyce. The 5'10", 175-pound senior quarterback, running back. He did everything. He ran, he threw. He actually had the big fumble recovery where he ripped the ball away. He did it about everywhere. And you said it. We talk about the ball having to be in McFadden's hands. For them, it needed to be in his hands. I thought he had a nice game tonight.
For the South Harrison Hawks, we're going to go with number 10, the quarterback, Jaron Robinson, the senior tonight. Did a great job, I think, of elevating the status of this offensive unit. Not only did he perform well on his feet, he had a really nice throw to Landon McFadden that led to a touchdown, and I thought it really opened up things for Jacob Haddix, and I think that is why Jaron Robinson is our TD Productions player of the game.
Absolutely. Couldn't agree more. I think, obviously, his production earned him that, but even bigger than that, and I know that's what you're saying, is it had a bigger impact because it opened things up, and I think that's going to help them going down the line as well.
Because of his
step forward,
because of his play, this will not be the same South Harrison offense. I guess that's the overall point.
And I agree 100% for sure.
Well, 28-21, the final here at Gary Barnett Field. The Hawks get their first win of the season, move the record to 1-2. Next week they are off before Moorfield comes to town. Another opportunity. We talked about the first 2 games of the season were probably the 2 more difficult games on the schedule. The Hawks have navigated. I think they're better for it. And this is a football team that just looked, at least 100 times better than they did last week. You agree?
Oh, absolutely, and just so much better than last year. The tackling, the just offense, and all those things. So, happy for this team, happy for Coach Underwood.
Absolutely.
We felt like he did take over a tough situation last year. That's a tough season.
Yeah.
So I'm happy. He's had to weather that storm. some things paying off here tonight, and I hope it continues to do so.
Speaking of weathering storms, I think that's what the Hawks did tonight. You think about the penalties and all the issues they faced, the opportunities that really they shot themselves in the foot, not able to capitalize on the mistakes of Parkersburg Catholic, but at the end of the day, they did what they needed to do to win, and the ferocious comeback attempt by Parkersburg Catholic that were able to stifle and ultimately hang on.
For sure. It's good experience. It's good to learn how to win like that, and I think it gives you plenty to work on. So you got to feel good about winning. It gives you confidence. But they've got plenty of things to work on to improve upon with the penalties and the missed opportunities. So I think, all things considered, it's just what the doctor ordered.
Win number 1 for the Hawks. And, again, off next week. So an opportunity to rest and get healthy. Rest any bumps or bruises, so to speak. It's just a good night in Lost Creek. So we're going to leave it there. The final, South Harrison 28, Parkersburg Catholic 21. For Danny Knight, I'm Tom Sears. Have a wonderful weekend. This has been a production of TD Productions. Have a wonderful weekend, and God bless.